Guys, what's going on? Guys, I'm gonna drop the link right now. Guys, I'll drop it here. I'll also drop it in the Discord. Hold on, guys. Let me do that now. Let's see. Guys, what's going on, guys? Guys, man, so Memorial Day is tomorrow, right? So, guys, thanks to all you service people for all your service, man. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Where am I here? Where am I here? Hold on, guys. My soundboard's all messed up. There it is. Guys, my dad's Army, my mom's Army, my cousin is Air Force, my sister's Air Force. Let's see. And then my oldest uncle, he was in the Marines, and then he was a captain in the NYPD. So yeah, guys. Orlando, man, thanks for the membership, buddy. Appreciate that. Guys, any and all veterans, man, just hit the StreamYard link, call on in. Well, anyone can, but any servicemen, don't be shy. Let's see. Mac, what's going on? Rajai's here. GL, say your camera's on, but it's not. Good job. Let's see. Rajai's here. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Whiteout's here. Tom's Wonderful's here. Red Door's here. Vengeance is here. What's going on, guys? It's good to see everyone today. Walk, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on, AJ?
Good, man. Good. Just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Working on, guys. If you're a member, I did drop the Memorial Day special early. Since early access for members, guys, we're going in all these knuckleheaded 304s, whining and moaning about the military. Because, guys, put a 1 if you agree that letting these knuckleheaded 304s into the military en masse is one of the worst things that
it was. Oh my God, one of the absolute worst things that they could have ever done.
My gosh. My God, wait until you guys see some of the absolute dunderheads that man, this chick's like, man, basic training was so easy for us. So easy. La la la. And guys, just the idea, and you hear a lot of them talk about respect and how they don't get any and being underestimated and how men you got in with lower standards. Men know from the jump you don't belong there. You have access to all the same training, all the same promotions, all of that. Plus, you can call the sergeant if someone is mean to you. Please. You expect men to respect you? Come on, man. Come on. GL, how's it going, man?
Hey, what up?
Good, man. Good. Hold on, guys. There's one chick that I'm going to put on. Walk. Do you guys remember the video that I did on that knuckleheaded that chick with the green hair that was like, yeah, see, they're changing the
oh yeah.
Now all these guys are going to be shocked that the women are doing just as good. Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
So, guys, this is basically women in the military right here. All right. Right here. This one clip sums up everything that I'm talking about, right? You ready for this? Hold on.
Hey friends, welcome to another lovely day of being a black girl in the military. Psych! Every single time I walk in there with a new hairstyle, it's, oh, your hair is out of regs. AFI 36-2903 says in 3.1.3, hair, male or female, for unshore and religious accommodations. It says hair will end above the bottom edge of the collar. That's crazy. It's almost like it's above the bottom edge of my collar. So yes, the Willy Wonka bust down bob is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. She is staying. Hey friends, welcome.
Hey GL, walk. You want this knucklehead guard in your 6?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm so, I'm so pissed off that they don't hit these with article was it hit them with unbecoming, because they shouldn't be in
Yeah,
uniform
yeah,
doing
not at all.
doing any of this.
Not at all.
Any
It
of
was
this.
too horrible.
If it was a dude, he'd be standing in front of his CO.
Yeah. Yep. And he wouldn't be whining about it either. He just take his orders, you know what I'm saying, and comply. These chicks just cannot do it. They cannot. There's one you guys will see in the video that I'm dropping that's already members only. Guys, she's whining because they don't let chicks wear nail polish anymore. You're worried about your nail polish?
Good.
Because here we go.
We're females in the military. Of course we're going to get stared at when we walk into the effect. We're females in the military. Of course our following on Instagram is going to go up just by going to work. We're females in the military. Of course people are going to say we're barrack bunnies. We're females in the military. Of course all the guys in our unit bully us. We're females in the military. Of course everyone's going to think we're sisters just because we hang out all the time. We're females in the military. Of course we can never get the door of the Humvees open on our own. We're females in the military.
Yeah, because you're too busy with your legs spread back up.
Females in the military. Of course all the men think we're incapable of doing anything on our own.
Because you are. No, Walk, I'm gonna need you to breathe, okay? Because this whole live is gonna piss you off.
Yeah, Jesus Christ! This brings back the true PTSD.
No, guys. Here's the funny thing, right? Is this? I've never been in the military, obviously, right? But guys, okay, let's kind of back things up here, right? Panel, let me know, and then everyone in the chat. Guys, let me know if you agree. The last 10 to 15 years, guys, the military has done everything but has focused on everything but being an effective and deadly fighting force, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely insane. There's no reason why. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. One second, guys. Look at this. All of these are here we go.
Pentagon is expected to start moving up to 1,000 transgender troops out of the military, according to the Associated Press. Officials say the Pentagon will immediately start to force out those who openly identify as transgender.
Can you imagine 1,000? 1,000 in our military. 1,000, and that's that they know of. 1,000? Yeah. That's insane. Look at that.
And others have 30 days to self-identify. The Defense Department will reportedly begin going through medical records to identify those who have.
Oh, they're going through the medical records. Look at that. You guys know Orange Man. They're like, oh, what think about the transgenders? Guys, he said,
I don't give a fuck about what you talk about trans, these nuts.
And the sad thing is you know who let them in. Good old Barry.
Yeah, yep. Here we go, guys. You guys remember that? You watched this? Here we go.
A little bit earlier today, as we mentioned, the Supreme Court handed down a victory for the Trump administration, allowing a policy barring transgender people from serving in the military now. Lower courts, as you know, previously blocked that ban nationwide.
John James, what's up, dude? Sad 10, what's going on? Unk, what's up, man? It's good to see all you guys. Guys, make sure to hit the like button on the way in. I'd appreciate that. Thanks for all you guys that are members. Guys, thanks for that, guys. Hit the join button. Guys, we'll have a couple of daytime lives, guys, coming this week, right? We had a couple good ones last week about female sports and all of that. So, yeah, guys. We'll do 10 super chats or 2 memberships, guys. And we will go to 304 Felon TikTok, guys, because that's always fun. So, guys, make sure to hit the super chat button. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, here we go.
Jay-Z is live at 11 o'clock tonight. Ashley Paul has more on how this ban will impact Maryland service members. And Ashley, you spoke with a local organization now coming to defend some of our military workers.
Yeah, Rick. Well, Annapolis Pride is taking a stand.
I told you guys, redheads are either gorgeous or they're gargoyles. And this chick sure ain't gorgeous, that's for sure.
Against the decision by this morning announcing that the Grand Marshal of their upcoming Pride Parade is also one of the highest ranking officers in the U.S. military.
I know at my core what I stand for, and I believe in the ideals of America and the oath that I swore to defend.
Look at this, guys. With valor and visibility, transgender troops with honor and integrity, transgender troops, queer leaders. Look at that, guys.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
And this person's trying to advertise their books, please.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
So
The fuck are
the
you
part
talking
that,
about? That shit stinks.
Come on, man.
so the part that nobody wants to talk about is that these LGBTQ leaders are harder on the men and more lenient on the women, to the point where nothing the men can do is right.
Never.
But the females, even though they do nothing right, everything they do is right.
Colin said it wasn't Barry who let him in. It was Big Mike who told him once he was pegging him with the big rubber donger. Captain Palsy, man, thanks so much for the $2, man. I really, really appreciate that.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
Now, guys, we'll watch this, and then we'll I think everyone on the panel so far is former military. So, guys, if you want to get it into what your experience was, we'll do that. But let's finish this first.
18 years in the United States Air Force, plus 4 years and counting in the Space Force. Colonel Bree Fram has dedicated her life to serving her country. But a decision by the Supreme Court today brings into question whether her country can support her in return.
When that ruling came out, I and thousands of other transgender service members were doing the jobs and the missions that the military has assigned to us.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Colonel Fram is one of an estimated 15,000 trans.
What is this world coming to, right? Why? Can you imagine China's military, Russia's military? Guys, have you seen how they're training those guys? And then this is what we have over here. Walk, GL, Lenny. So everyone in this panel is out of the military, right? Now? Or GL, you still in?
I'm out.
No, 30 years, I think.
Okay, guys, what would your walk? How old were you when you joined?
22.
GL, how old were you?
18.
And Lenny, how old were you?
Yeah, I was at boot camp 3 days after I turned 18, dude.
Okay, so you guys as 22, 18-year-old selves. If you can, if you're young self can time travel to today in 2025,
no way in hell.
Would you join the military?
No way in hell.
No. It's a joke.
And they wonder why so many young men aren't joining the military. Guys, I have a video saying, guys, that white dudes aren't joining the military, and that white male military enlistment's at an all-time low.
Yeah, we always had a joke in the Marine Corps, though, AJ. Said there's no racism in the Marine Corps because they treat us all equally like shit.
Yeah.
And then they were saying, guys, white males are the largest group of men in America. If white dudes aren't signing up, we're cooked.
Yeah. I'll admit it. White dudes are the most patriotic people in this country. This is literally their country, right? Yeah. So if they're not signed up for the military, if they don't believe in protecting this country anymore, like this country is screwed.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, men used to do this because it was a sense of duty and obligation, and all guys want is a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? Not even asking. But now, men are trash. Men are this. Men are that. But here, let us vote to send you to a war that we'll never have to go into.
Or demonized every corner.
Yeah. What's the point?
It gets worse than that. It gets worse than that. It's not just that the females don't have to go into it. So I don't know if you noticed, but veterans who were in combat and during combat times, or and during times of conflict, I should say, you get certain preference points when you go to apply for a government job, right? So if you claim disability, then you get like 10 points. If you're just a non-disabled, just a regular vet, you get 5 points. So you have females who never been in combat, who got some sort of injury, like while in the office, and they got to claim a disability because of that. So they're actually getting the same amount of veterans preference competing for government jobs as guys who were kicking in doors in Iraq.
Oh, but they're so oppressed. They're so oppressed, and they need this feminism.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Guys, the ponytail patrol.
And they're beating those guys too, because they get to check the female box. So they're beating those guys having never done any combat at all.
Guys, the ponytail patrol is useless. What do we even call female service members? Because we can't call them a ponytail patrol.
In the Marine Corps, we call them Wookiees. No shit, we call them Wookiees.
Sea donkeys.
Sea donkeys.
Sea donkeys.
Dennis Jimenez. What's up, man? Adam A. How's it going? Guys, make sure to hit the like button. Captain Palsy, how's it going? Once again, guys, the StreamYard link is there. Just call in show. So anyone can hit the button and call in. And yeah, guys, I just don't. This is like the Emperor's new clothes, right? Like everyone knows the Emperor's butt naked. But like no one's saying anything. We know that women don't belong in the fire department. They don't belong in the police force. They don't belong in the military at all. Some people, well, what about the nurses? No, men make better medics, doctors, because they get the job done and not worry about all this cattiness that these nurses do.
So in the military, the male nurses are the only ones allowed on the battlefield. So the females stay back in whatever hospital way out of the combat area. So they're not even getting the triage experience that the males are getting. So how are female nurses better than the male nurses? They're not. They don't get any of the triage experience out in the field that the male nurses get, or the male medics, I should say.
Oh, guys, hold on. You know, we'll come back this. All right, here we go.
Transgender troops currently serving in the.
Look at this right here. Look at this knucklehead.
United States military, whose jobs could now be in jeopardy. It was back in January when President Donald Trump signed an executive order that targeted active and prospective service members with gender dysphoria, quoting the military's, quote, high standards for troop readiness, lethality, cohesion, honesty, humility, uniformity, and integrity, end quote. He went on to say, quote, medical, surgical, and mental health constraints on individuals with gender dysphoria are not consistent with those standards.
Here's the thing, guys. You would let a person who's schizophrenic go into war and carry a gun, right? You wouldn't let a person that has bipolar, but they'll let a person that has gender dysphoria?
AJ, and for my job as a door gunner, you had to do a flight physical every year, and they're so anal about your physical stuff. You're limited the amount of caffeine you can have per day. That's how anal they are. So yeah, you're 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Guys, you see, Lenny. Anyone who runs is a VC. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined VC.
It's starting to get bad when I retired, dude. The guy that processed my paperwork when I was retiring had a picture of him and his husband on his freaking desk. And I was like, made the right decision. I retired early, AJ. I retired at 17 years and 10 months because during Obama's tenure, this was in 2014, what were they focused on? Making the military weaker. So they were downsizing. That's why I was able to retire early. Like it was only a difference like $200 or $300 a month, but I was able to retire 2 years early with every other benefit exactly the same. And so it was like a non-decision even, especially when you have kids and stuff and you have a dangerous job to wear. You know, my nuts were hanging on a daily basis when you're fighting against gravity, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had enough close calls. I had over 3,000 flight hours when I returned, you know, when I retired. So, yeah.
Dang, look
so,
at
yeah.
that.
A lot of close calls anyway, man.
Don,
Even not in
Don,
combat.
what's up, dude? He says flight is on some other areas. Yeah, when it comes to physical, he was in IT in the Army. They didn't have to do that. Yeah, here's the thing, guys. These chicks in society as a whole, they do less and whine more. Guys, having done this research on TikTok, all you hear is these chicks whining and moaning. You're not doing any of the hard jobs. What are you talking about? There was a video of you guys remember the Veterans Day special that I did? And the girl, she was talking about why so she was mad that her hair couldn't be long. Someone put in my comments that there was a girl who had her hair long and wouldn't cut it, whatever. She was bending down to tie up her boot. Her hair got caught in the wheel of a truck and it tore her scalp off. And she was in the infirmary.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, they're rebellious. They could tell their superiors no, and nothing happens. So I've seen them spit in their chief's face. Yeah, let's go. There was one that you might be able to find a story if you Google it and you looked hard enough. But there's an aircraft carrier. They actually had a prostitution sting and caught the females on there that were 3 or 4 themselves out.
Damn. Look at that.
I mean, a massive one.
Oh, look. Look.
Oh, Jesus. Nothing good can come out of his mouth.
Really shows that we have a lot of work to do to make sure that all of the members of the LGBTQ plus community are seen as actual humans. Because at its core, what this administration is trying to do is trying to separate out individual pieces of our community and really strip away people's humanity. And we're seeing that through the decision.
Don't they all just sound so fake?
Yeah.
Like everything is so contrived and fake. Yeah, I'm
They
saying
have these
ridiculous.
pre-programmed sentences that they say, and they're just echo chambers. They all repeat the same things.
Yeah, yep, it's true.
They're the worst humans behind closed doors, guaranteed.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
true. Yep. Anything that involves these knuckleheads. It's so funny that like we had talked about these LDHT TVs in sports. All these knuckleheads who want Transformers in sports, they've never played sports. You've never caught a ball, thrown a ball, ran a race, and you're, I think this is
I should have the opportunity.
Come on, man. This knucklehead here can't even walk down the stairs, let alone make it through boot camp. What are you talking about?
It came today.
Joe Toolin with Annapolis Pride says this is why he chose Colonel Fram to be a Grand Marshal in this month's upcoming Pride Parade, to show a perfect example of a top-ranking officer in the military who lives as her authentic self.
She's just like all of us.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
She's trying to serve this country. She's trying to make this country a better place.
And Colonel Fram says despite this ruling, that's what she plans to continue to do.
I've served.
Shut up. Okay, guys, look.
Like you said, though, AJ, that person had no stake in the military. That person had no balls to join the military. Guaranteed, they want the snot hook in their nose. But they can. All these and that, the buzzwords, right?
Yeah, yep. And the thing is, if time came to actually sack up and grab a gun and do something, then none of these idiots would ever do anything, ever.
Well, half of them wouldn't be able to carry them. Like when we were on a ship, like we had to go down to the armory, get our 50 cals, 2 of them on each plane. They weighed 65 pounds each. They wouldn't even be able to carry them up the ramp on a LHA ship.
Fully loaded M60. So, like, I have friends of mine that are former military, and in Washington State, we used to go out to the quarry and shoot guns. And some of my friends, I don't even know where they got these damn things. Like, what kind of Lord of War shit is this? Like, where did you guys get this thing? A fully loaded M60. That's a heavy gun. You know what I'm saying?
I used to love standing up and shooting.
50 cals.
Guys, one at a time.
Sorry.
Lenny, you're saying, and then walk. You go.
Well, no, and that's a small gun compared to what I was talking about carrying. A 50 cal is 12.7 millimeter. You're shooting a 7.62 millimeter, so almost twice, the caliber.
Damn, none for me,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50 cal is no joke, dude.
Yep.
I used to love standing up and shooting the M60, but because of the females on the ship, because they couldn't handle the weight or the recoil of it, we had to start using bipods, and it was no longer fun for me because they would give me a 100-round belt, and dude, you cannot tell me I was not Rambo out there with that.
Dude, I got to shoot the deck guns on the LHA before. That was pretty tight, dude. I think they're 20 millimeter. Those things are no
25
joke.
millimeters.
Yeah, no joke, dude. That shit was
Yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah, I chubbed up on that one, and I've probably shot. I'm not even trying to flex. Probably close to 1 million rounds of 50 cal because I was a gunnery instructor and all that stuff, dude. So yeah.
To those that don't know the deck guns he's talking about, if you ever watch Pearl Harbor, the guns on the sides of the ship where they're sitting in and they're shooting, those are the deck guns, and they are loud.
No joke, dude.
Yeah.
Front and center this week spotlights a military training instructor at Joint Base San Antonio who's making history in many ways.
That military
Not good history, right, guys?
training instructor not only serving our country by training the best to be the best in the U.S. Air Force, but also serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration to so many. Our Jonathan Cotto brings us a story of the first transgender military training instructor in the Air Force.
Look at that.
It's the Air Force. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I give my buddy crap all the time. I grew up with. He's like, yeah, that was almost like being in the military since he was in the Air Force. Yeah,
But hey, you know what? The best thing that happened to the Air Force is the Space Force, because the Space Force is the only thing that makes the Air Force look hard, right? Right? At least the Air Force, like, I don't know, at least we aren't those guys.
Yeah.
Brandon Rodriguez is a military training instructor for the 321st Training Squadron at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland and has been serving for over a decade.
I just hit 15 years last month, June 13th of 2007.
Serving as a military training instructor, a lifelong goal.
This is something that I was fighting for about 6 years, and I finally got here, so this means a lot to me.
And it means a lot because
I enlisted as a female.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
What?
Jesus.
Mary Francis.
Did you think he enlisted as a female?
And now
He really
it's
said
a
that?
quote unquote male. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that, guys.
Wow.
Look at that.
So
Right?
here's my theory behind it. A lot of them have figured out that is a cheat code. That is a cheat code because if you're male, you claim female, you're beholden to the female standards, which for a male to do, you can do the female physical standard test with one arm tied behind your back and hopping on one foot and blindfolded.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. I actually looked it up, and I was like, "Wait a minute," because I was like, "Look." Like, I think from like 2010 to about 2019-ish, I was like, you know what? I should be able to, at any point in time, just say, look, I should be able to pass the military PT test, right? You know what I'm saying? So like every, like once, twice a year, 3 times a year, I would just see if I could do it. The pull-ups, the push-ups, and the run. And I hate running. You know what I'm saying? I hate it, But I looked at the women's one. I'm like, dude, like, this is the PT test for the women.
You could power walk and hit the run time requirement. You really could.
Crazy.
Yeah. So for the Navy, we didn't have to do pull-ups. We did push-ups, sit-ups, and then your run. And they're all these 3 done at once. Like one like consecutively, right?
You guys did a mile and a half, right?
Yeah, time mile and a half. So for the males, let's say when I was 22, my time had to be 10:30, right? 10:30 time mile and a half. I had to do 60. This is a bare minimum. This is bare minimum push-ups was 60. Bare minimum sit-ups, I think, was also 60. Now, I could crank out 90 push-ups with ease. I always maxed out sit-ups, so that was always 100. And then my mile and a half was usually about 10:45, right? Now, you go over to the females. You want to know? Want to take how many? I think guess how many push-ups they had to do?
I think it was like what 20.
30.
20. Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely
guess
right.
30.
20, yeah.
20. 20 push-ups.
Only 20.
Only 20.
20.
Oh my god.
And they could barely, and none of them could do that. And when it came to sit-ups, they had to do, I don't know what they had to do, but like the most they would do was like 40. And then their mile and a half was like 12 something.
And then now they don't even do pull-ups. They have to do a dead hang. So they just hang from a bar for like 60 seconds. It's like you can't even do a pull-up. What are you talking about?
Wow.
Joe Dash, what's up, dude? Chris Mike is here. Christopher Lloyd is here. What's up, man? Clayton, what's up, man? Someone had said, where was it? Ochi says he did 6 years in the chair force and dipped immediately, claimed VA and never looked back. Yeah, 2000 guy. Women shouldn't be in the army. Yeah. Ivan, what's up, dude? Yeah. Yep. Snowboard, what's up, man?
I have a cousin
hey guys.
who's in the army, and when she was in, she used to like posting these pictures of her with her M4 and wearing a battle helmet and just front for everybody, just for Facebook pictures, right? She would kick me off her comments because I would go in her comments and be like, why are you doing all this? Like, you work in an office, you'll never see combat. Like, that's probably the first time you failed a rifle.
Walk his inner comments.
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck. That's what's about to get increased.
It even sounds like him.
Yeah, J Dash. Yeah. This is a transformer, dude. Look at that. Look at that.
I did my first, I want to say my first 10 years-ish as a female.
A San Antonio native, Brandon was born Brandy Rodriguez, born to part of an old-school, traditional, loving Catholic family as the youngest of 5.
I knew that I was not who I was, and I was born as a female. So making that determination as
Guys, 90% of these people have other types of mental problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like transformerism is the most like accepting and non like community, meaning like, and there's acceptance and not stigma. Whereas if you have like, if you're severely autistic or you have Asperger's or like some type of a personality disorder, there's no like social positives. You don't get praised for being, you know what I'm saying? For being schizo, you know? But these knuckleheads can say they're transformer, which is usually them having another major issue. Then everyone's like, yay, you're so stunning and brave. Please.
Exactly. Because if you were to go to like 1930, people were not saying that. So if this really was true, it would be going back since the beginning of time. People would just say, hey, I thought I was born something else. They only did it when they could get the social credit for it. And now they're like, see, I'm an individual. I'm unique. I'm independent. I'm going against the grain and all that.
Well, but here's the thing.
Otherwise, they would just be like, hey, if you're gay or something, then just do that. But no one thought they were born the other way, really, till
but there's just like revisionist
2010.
history. There's this revisionist history where now everything is like, they're trying to paint everything through this lens and say, well, gender is a Eurocentric thing, and all the indigenous peoples all around the world had no clue what male and female was.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Led astray. Run amok.
You're trying to tell me that Africa, Asia, like all those people just were all just freaking transformers, and they were all had the dudes blowing each other? What are you talking about?
Yeah, my favorite thing is
in ancient Chinese texts like Art of War and everything, they would have covered things like that. It's never been said till like 2010 or whatever.
And they have the oldest recorded history, like continuous recorded history, is in China. It goes back like 4,000 or 5,000 years.
It's like 5,000 years.
Yeah, and they don't mention dudes blowing each other once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah, my favorite thing is they love to tell us that we need to accept them for who they are. Like, wait a minute, you couldn't even accept yourself for who you are.
Facts.
Yeah,
Absolute facts. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Dude, walk, man. Dropping truth bombs in this bad boy. There you go, man. There you go, man.
Very young child put me in a mental space that wasn't conducive to a childhood life.
And they let you join and stay in the military. That makes me feel really, really good about my tax dollars, right?
As a teenager, he first came out to his family as a lesbian, but Rodriguez still wasn't feeling comfortable in his own skin.
I was about 26 when I learned what the term transgender was, and all the way up until I was 26 years old.
How much you want to bet that this person is going to end up going back to being a woman and just being a lesbian? Because that happens a lot. You know?
Still thought I was probably the only individual
that
was thinking the way that I did.
But notice he's probably like 36 or something. So around 2010 or something, that's when he said he learned that he thought that. He, quote, learned it. It was not an organic experience. He heard about it and said, oh, I can now do this new thing. It was never an organic experience.
True. Yep. Steve, what's up, dude? Steve Connor, what's up, man? Good to see you.
He says as a child, not having a mentor or someone to help was the most difficult time of his life. He had no other choice but to rely on his own strength and resiliency to survive.
What are you talking about?
The lie detector determined
like anyone else ever did.
All this resilience, like they make it seem like they come from
daisies.
Guys, Walk is gonna need friggin' need therapy after this. He's having
I am, dude. I think I need a drink right now.
You tell me it's gonna be better. Everything's gonna be just fine. You know, not knowing that for so long was probably the most stressful, the most hurtful thing as a child, and it's not it was just the time that we were living in.
He started his transition in May of 2017 and says the biggest difference between Brandy and Brandon is his drastically improved mental health.
This is who I am, and I've been searching for this person for a long time.
Rodriguez is counted with endless support at the 321st Training Squadron and says at the end of the day, his heart, his passion, and his work ethic speak for itself.
Dude, you can just tell he stands like a chick, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna get that little fupa.
What are you talking about?
I'm doing my job. Nobody can tell, and nobody really cares.
I just want to say something.
Nobody can tell.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray.
I wonder what dose of testosterone she's on. Yeah.
All right.
How
much it's costing
their
us.
mental health might have improved, but that's only due to the placebo effect. It was just due to their own mind doing it to themselves. So it's not actually like a real sustainable thing. So you shouldn't be telling that to other people. It's just like you guys know what placebo effect is, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's basically what happened to him. Which will wear off, like like Adrian said, in like 5 years that's going to wear off. So it probably does work a little bit, but that is not going to last a lifetime because it's not like true.
Yeah. So
You can only fight your biology for so long.
So it says, I'm sure that Russia, China, North Korea.
They'll laugh. They're
happy to hear this. This person says the Army has its first Transformer Major. We're so screwed.
Dude, that's pulling punches, dude. I'm telling you, they're savages. I'm telling you, right, Walk?
True.
Man. They're not going to hold back at all. They don't care if they get banned for hurting somebody's feelings.
Look at this. So people they forget that in the military, you just don't work with others. You live with them. Didn't have people like this when I was in the Army in 67 to 71. Look at that. So here we go. The transphobia in these comments. Unacceptable. Do better, America. Stop the transphobia.
Look what the name is. Butterfly Spirit. That is what does all the 304s have tattooed on them.
Yeah.
Butterfly. I'm telling you, man.
That could have just been somebody trolling, man. I bet it might be somebody just trolling.
It could have
Has
been,
to
yeah.
be, dude. Has to be. Look at that, man. Look at that.
I guarantee you, everybody knows, and I guarantee you, all the recruits under that transformer, all the like when they go to chow hall, they're getting clowned by all the other recruits when they can sneak and talk. They're not supposed to talk in chow hall, but you sneak and have conversations every now and then when the drill instructors aren't looking, and I bet they're getting clowned.
Oh, guys, here's another one. Here's another one.
As we know, June is Pride Month, and today we're shining a light on a unique group of the LGBTQ plus community, transgender members of our military.
History reporter Penny Commit shares the history of transgender service members and shines a light this morning on the hardships they overcome.
Mike Trimmer with the $4.99, man. He says that the LDHD TVs have wrecked to their perforator and overriding the disposition of common sense. Yeah, the military's purpose is to go
to kill
war.
people.
Facts.
Yeah.
I want to say, I want to say something like when we go to it's called MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station. When you first join up, I went in 1996. There was some crusty old World War II colonel that was still there as the CO. He was a Guadalcanal survivor. He said, all right, he looked at everybody. He says, all right, how many of you guys are here for the college money and all that? Some people raised their hands. I mean, there's a big group. This was the Marine, Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody all in one room, right? Like 30 or 40 people in Detroit MEPS, 1996. So how many people are here for the college money? Some people raised their hands. How many of you guys are here, to learn a skill to take on, to learn a career later on? Some other hands went up. He goes, all right, that's cool and all, guys. I want you to tell right now. The military is about fighting wars and killing people, and if you're not prepared to do that, then you better get your asses out of here right now. And then he proceeded to tell us about how he was one of like 3 that survived seeing his entire squad butchered in Guadalcanal, and stuff like that. It was a different breed, man. When I first joined up, the first guys that were senior to me were Vietnam vets. They didn't play around either, dude. I mean, I got beat up. I got sent home, with black eyes, busted lips, just for not knowing a component on an aircraft what it was, because it was that important to know your job. But I'll quit before I go too far. But I just wanted to tell that little piece, man.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about cops too, right? You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these NYPD guys that were officers in the 80s and the 90s when New York was it's a shithole now, but you guys remember New York in the 80s and the the subways.
They cleaned it up.
Warrior type stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, dude, those cops were not playing because those gangbangers weren't playing. The mob, the gangbangers, all of them were not playing around. So those cops had to respond accordingly, right? And now now you get the path. If there's a suspect, you got to talk nice to him and jerk him off before you put the freaking cuffs on him, please. What are you talking about? He's a suspect of a crime.
Back then, the cops actually walked the beat. Now they just drive by. So
Yep.
They were doing that right now. How many lives would be saved in Chicago every weekend or every week? If they were doing that in the neighborhoods that need it.
Yep. And here's the thing: most of the residents who live there, they want the cops there. They always talk to these.
Yeah. They're afraid to ask.
These knuckleheaded activists who don't live anywhere near there.
They live in a rich gated community.
There's one positive to the change in policing, and that is body cams.
Yeah.
Because AJ, I would love for you to. One of my newest hobbies I got a couple friends hooked on to is body cam videos of females from 18 to 29 getting pulled over for DUIs.
Dude, do you watch that?
Yeah, that's like all
that all the time.
That's AJ's passion.
Dude, do you watch my other channel, dude? Are you serious?
You're late to the party. Welcome, baby. You're late to the party.
I'm sorry.
Guys, put a 1 in the chat and let him know we got him covered. Right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you're right.
The best part is, and my friends agree, and one of them is a female, is once those silver bracelets come out, they turn from the biggest blubbering little pile of goo into the most ratchet, vile, wild animal. Oh my God.
Dude, hold on. Here we go. Hold on.
Dude, I saw one. She got the cops put on her. She started breaking out into little like incantations and stuff in a language I didn't know what it was.
Hold on.
It's funnier
Dude,
when
yeah.
they kick.
Dude, look, I have a whole other channel. 50 and 304s, man. These chicks getting body slammed by the cops, man. Yo, it's great. It's great.
Oh
man.
yeah, and we love when the tasers come out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I go live every Friday on this channel. There's 253 videos here and hours of live streams, man. Matter of fact, hey, Snowboard, I gotta post the one. Were you there on Friday with the B-dub that like ran up in the pizza joint and threw the pizza? Yeah. See, guys, go over there and sub to the second channel here, guys. Yeah. Because so what happened was I would always find these crazy clips, right? So, and then I started looking at them at the end of live streams, and I would do them as videos. But then I was doing so many. I'm like, you know what? I need to have a second channel. And then this channel is actually born. So. Yeah, we have a lot of fun over here, guys.
I think you said women actually watch this channel quite a bit. It's like 50% women.
I think
because women like to watch another woman fall down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But for the uninitiated, there is nothing funnier than when a drunk gets lit up with a taser.
Oh, nothing, dude.
I
Yeah.
don't care how many times I've seen it. There is nothing funnier than that.
AJ says like Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, dude. Every time they get tased, it's the most wonderful time of the year. and then every time that the cop has to break the window, it's Happy New Year. and then when the pepper spray is out, right, it's Cinco de Mayo, you know. But guys, there was a live stream. So I think Snowboard, this is one of the first ones that you were on. Do you remember we saw like 3 tasings, a pepper spray, and a beanbag round? I just randomly found 3 videos back to back with tasings, and then one with a pepper spray. The other one, the chick got that was Jameson who was.
I don't remember the beanbag round one.
Yeah, so
I think that was before I started coming on.
She was running from the cops. And Jameson, who's a longtime subscriber of mine, he lives in like rural California. And they're going down this back road. They run her off the road. Jameson's like, wait a minute, this is like 4 miles from my house. And she gets out of the car. She has something in her hand. Wow! And they shoot her with the beanbag round. She's,
Nice.
Every day to keep us all safe.
I joined as Amy Elizabeth Rolls. I was female.
Yeah, and he keeps you safe, guys.
Why?
He's the one keeping you safe.
I'm not here to talk about my transition. I'm here to kick some ass.
Guys, what is going on?
Oh my God.
What is going on, right? Guys, here's the thing. They take things that are simple. Guys, the military is supposed to be simple because it has one job, okay? The moment you add women in and beta males, everything gets more complicated. And when basic things get complicated is when people start dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only reason why they want to transition to male is because they get to keep the same privileges as if they were females.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Rockin' Diesel, what's up, dude? He says, hey, what's up? Hey, man, thanks for the $2.79. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want my medication, and I want my croutons, please.
Matthew says, "How does she have two mustaches?"
military in 2015.
Can I just say something real quick, AJ?
Yeah.
This is mirroring what the churches are doing. They're letting in the transformers and letting people do kind of whatever they want because it just gets people involved that they can exploit. These people are basically being exploited. They don't really actually care about this guy that much. They're just like, this is a puff piece, but they're doing like what the churches are doing and stuff. They're like, hey, we need money, we need bodies in here, so we have to cave in our values to have.
Here's the thing, though, just like the churches, where guys, men aren't going to church anymore. Men are still religious, but they're not going to church. Men aren't joining the military anymore.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I think not. You know what I'm saying? Look at that.
Is one of over 15,000 transgender people believed to be serving in the United States military.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah,
He has
believed to be.
Come on, man.
Well, I'm
Those
a
guys have
UH-60
served. Life is
upholding
stressful enough without all that crap going on in your head with a mental illness, dude. I'm telling you.
Or
if you can't handle it, get out of there. If you're not mentally stable, you shouldn't be doing something with this high level of responsibility.
Or here's Lenny on his, on that door gun, worrying about anyone on that flight crew dealing with this foolishness and getting you killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
I'm a mic instructor. Right now, I'm teaching the students here at Fort Eustis.
Is this your office?
This is pretty much my office.
According to research conducted by the Williams Institute, transgender men and women make up less than 1% of the armed forces. Yet, 21% of transgender people have served, a higher percentage than most demographics.
There's just a lot of understanding of the perspective of the underdog.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Pretty shit out of
We had to zoom in and see what chemicals are tattooed on her. It's going to be like meth and like male or female. Like it's going to be like testosterone, estrogen, or something.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, we'd go there because some of the special ops guys were trained there. We'd do VBSS there, vessel board search and seizure at Fort Useless. And that was one of our things we had to do before we went overseas.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's estrogen.
Got us off our
security
planes
training
onto
there.
like ship decks and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Look at that estrogen.
Yeah. And then testosterone was. I mean, it logically makes sense.
Yeah. For sure enough.
Yeah.
Is that what that thing has tatted on it?
Yeah. That's that being.
What
Dude, that just
mess.
Screams mental illness. If you just saw
Yeah.
It's mental illness, man.
What a mess.
It's just
Look at that, guys.
And I'm just trying to tell you that I have mental health. I'm extremely distraught. I feel like my whole life is ending.
Look at that, guys. Guys, this is a disease of abundance.
Yeah,
You know
it's a
what I'm saying?
poster child for mental illness, dude. The self-harm is there. Self-hate is there. Like, all of it. You're ticking like 3 boxes in one image.
Yeah, the tattoos, and I guarantee she has a lot of piercings.
Butterflies.
It's kind of like, it's kind of a form of like self-mutilation in a way.
Well, I'm sure it's a dude that's had his wang chopped off too, probably. So self-mutilation there, like, ugh.
Yeah, literal mutilation. But that is a sign of like mentally healthy people don't really do all that, particularly a woman. A man has some tattoos, maybe from military and stuff, but they're not like this. This is not a healthy average woman at all.
I don't think this is a woman at all, dude. Honestly,
play a woman.
Yeah, this is a.
It's got me so messed up. I don't even know.
So like, you don't even know what to say anymore, dude.
I don't.
That's why I said thing. That's why I said thing.
You just gotta turn your head and smile anymore, dude. That's why.
Why are you gay?
Or getting an uppercut in Mortal Kombat.
You remember cousin it from the Addams Family? This is the other cousin shit.
Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. We have 90 people watching with 48 likes, guys. Make sure to hit the like button. I appreciate that.
Struggle that comes with being trans, and I think that lends itself towards service.
Leanne Withrow is the director for Sparta, a national advocacy organization for transgender military members that formed following the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
All of a sudden, everybody says, "Oh, you can be LGBT in the military," except you can't be LGBT. You can be L, G, or B, right? But they kind of left us behind.
According to the National Parks.
And guys,
Still
believe
not
it or
good
not,
enough for her.
no, but guys, believe it or not, have you guys heard of the term "the Great Divorce"? Have you heard of that?
Isn't that the LG and the B divorce themselves from the T or vice versa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the L, the G, and the B have nothing to do with the T. And the T's are the ones that are friggin' causing all of these issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the T's are like the nug nugs of the black community.
Yeah, exactly. And I had never heard of that government program that they said, whatever they just said that was. I guarantee you that is some USAID way of funneling money and creating this garbage, because this is enabling them and, quote, empowering them to even make this puff piece, but just exist in general. So the only reason these people are existing in the military, they're getting some money for, just like I was saying in the church. Those people will give money. Those transformers and stuff, they will actually donate some money to the church. So they're like, hey, well, we'll take your money at this point. We don't care anymore.
Look at this, guys. Look at this. It's time to end this gender madness. We, the L, the G's, and the B's need to divorce the TQI pluses.
Oh my God.
Guys. Look at this. Yeah.
Dude, other countries are laughing their faces off at how insane this is.
Yeah.
I like the HGTV translation you do, and I said it to a buddy of mine, and he about choked on in his beer.
Yeah, the LDHGTVs, man. Sad. All right, here we go.
Service, the U.S. military's first transgender member is believed to have joined in 1861. Albert Cashier, who was originally named Benny Hodger, fought against the Confederacy during the...
That doesn't make this person a transformer.
This is all garbage. This is all garbage.
Yeah.
It's all garbage, kind of like that Native American thing. And they have to sell it to you by he's fighting the South. He liked black people. He did that whole narrative. They have to sell it to you like that.
This person probably joined as a man because she wanted a job. She's probably broke. You know what I'm saying? So she lied about who she was. That doesn't make this person trans.
She did have a husband.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
She probably didn't have a husband and she was probably lesbian, and so she couldn't get a job. She didn't own any land. She couldn't do anything. So she pretended to be a man to join the military to get some money. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. And that's kind of like I was saying before, in 1930 and stuff, you never heard of any of this. This is even way before that. This didn't happen then. That word didn't exist.
Guys, even
how
in
could
the
it happen?
70s and the 80s, right? Think about this is regression in this woke thinking, because all these feminists, right?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to
No,
ignore.
ma'am.
They didn't believe in biological determinism, or that there was like a female brain or a male brain. They think we're all the whole core tenets of feminism is that we're interchangeable, right? Do you guys remember how they said boys can play with dolls and girls can play with trucks, and they're still boys and girls?
Yeah.
But now they say if a boy plays with dolls, he's a transformer. If a girl plays with trucks, what is 1950 again?
Wants. Yeah.
No. But they were saying before that women can do whatever they want and still be women.
Right.
Now they're trying to say if women does X that they're men. Think about how crazy that is.
Well, if you look at it this way, the way to degrade a society is you have to bring down the masculinity, because that's where the strength and power is. If you're bringing down feminism and women, like it doesn't really do as much. So if you wanted to go another country and mess with it, you have to do like what's happening to us, like make the men be less of a man and less responsible and everything.
But the way that you do that is that you brainwash the women so that it happens in a more subtle and slow way because they can jack up the children.
TikTok.
Which is happening too.
Oh! Speaking of that, you guys saw that one TikTok thing with like, we're women in the military. Someone goes, yeah, these idiots are on a Chinese app on an American military base. Yeah, that makes perfect sense,
played.
you morons. Yeah, wow. Woohoo! Absolute morons.
You stupid woman.
Why are they so dumb? You're sitting there feeding, like you're on a base in the sandbox. And you're like, what?
And a lot of
China,
times,
check this out.
Oh no, it gets worse than that. Because a lot of times they're using the military's Wi-Fi. So now they've given the Chinese a backdoor into the American servers.
What about that combat ship? I can't remember if it was a Littoral class or not. I'm thinking it was, and it was the command master chief, female, put an illegal router up on the superstructure, and and that got found out.
They had a Wi-Fi satellite receiver is what it
That's
was.
what it was.
Had illegal Wi-Fi. Yep.
Yes. And what kind of a disciplinary action was this?
They got relieved. They got relieved of command. I remember that vaguely reading over.
Yeah, but she didn't get the typical punishment that most guys would have gotten.
Of course not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course not. I have a story about someone who had a female like drill sergeant that she joined. She's Russian. She joined the military as a female maybe like 5 years ago or so, and she was one of the top at her class, and she said like during the training a ton of people were self-deleting and on drugs and stuff. She said it was bad, but anyways, come years later, she's in like Saudi Arabia of all places. I don't know why they sent her there, but she didn't really have to do much. But they changed her drill instructor to a different female, and it might have been a transformer. But she said that the person was an idiot and never had them do warm-ups or anything. So she was just like, deadlift as much as you can right now. And she actually like blew her, like messed her back up and stuff because this instructor was like a complete idiot. DEI hire, and you actually like other people got hurt too because they were just having them do like unrealistic stuff, and so I'm not surprised about this. When we lower the standard for these people to join, we're lowering it for everything else and we're laughing stock. How if you were in Russia or something, you would be laughing your face off at this. Like, how could you not laugh at it?
And the ironic thing is when you lower the standards, like you don't give men a reason to want to compete anymore because, and anybody who's in, they can tell you that like when you take your physical fitness test, like it's like for bragging rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like
why I was saying this chick was I think number 2 in her whole thing, and she's actually older than a lot of the people, so she took it serious. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of why she got hurt. But the instructors were making them do stupid stuff that's just really kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, I've seen guys like when they do the run, like they push themselves so hard because they just want to beat, a certain person that they work with or whatever, or at the command, to the point that when they cross that finish line, they're vomiting.
Yeah, but that also does deserve bragging rights. Absolutely. They pushed wicked hard, so that does mean something, and that's actually like kind of good. That's kind of actually what you want. To a degree.
But us guys do that in PE class in middle school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a male thing to do.
Right.
That's why people don't understand the police force, firefighting, the military was never meant for women in the first place.
Yeah.
Their very inclusion contradicts the very essence of what the military is.
Right.
There's no room for lower standards. There's no room for feelings and emotions and all this other crap in the military. And the moment that you add chicks into anything, we all know that everything goes straight down the toilet.
the Civil War. Nearly 200 years later, and the fate of transgender service members still remains uncertain.
And I love how these knuckleheaded guys, academia, guys, I'm so
these
glad
people
that
like the reporter. The military is just a concept in their head. They can't even wrap their head around what we're talking about. You know.
Well, I went to college in the 2000s, right? And I'm so glad that I went when I did, because, guys, academia is, guys, put a yes if you agree that academia is just an indoctrination plant. Now, college, all it is indoctrinating young people into this foolishness, right? Guys, these college professors and stuff, they literally look back through history to try and affirm their LDHGT beliefs. They'd be like, oh, do you see this one king? You know, he had this guy that was always around him, and everyone thinks that was just his confidant, but they were actually blowing each other. So that shows that LDHGT was always going on. It's like, maybe they were just good friends. You know what I'm saying? Or this one chick, you know, she had to cut her hair short, and then she was around the battlefield, so she obviously had to be a transformer. What are you talking about, guys? This whole this gender thing is a modern invention, and gender roles are modern. But guys, you guys remember that I showed you guys that African tribe where the men speak one language and the women speak the other?
Yeah, you told us about it, but I didn't actually see that.
Like, think about that for a second. Their culture goes back thousands of years. They're indigenous, and their language is completely gendered, meaning the men speak a language, the women speak a different language, and they're not allowed to, like, the men can't learn the women's one. They can only learn the men's one, and they speak to each other in different languages. So this would be like Walk saying something in Russian, and then GL speaks Spanish, and they could both understand each other, but they can only speak that language to each other. You know. So that whole gender theory crap is out the window, and they always talk about one obscure tribe. Well, there's just one tribe in the deep jungles of Africa.
Yeah,
well, you know, they didn't believe in God.
Yeah, it just happened to discover it.
Yeah. Yep.
In 2016, Obama's administration lifted the ban on their ability to serve. But just 1 year later, the ban was reinstated, and fear washed over the entire community.
I didn't know what my future was going to be like. I just wanted to serve my country. My chain of command pulled me in the office. That was the first thing they did.
And a hyphenated last name. That's a lot. Dude. You know what I mean? Look at that, guys. Look at that.
And they asked me, "Are you okay?" That meant the world to me.
It wasn't until just 2 years ago that the ban was lifted once again, allowing transgender people to serve openly for now.
What happens when the next administration comes in and maybe there's another ban in place? What happens? You know, that's the fear that we always live in.
A fear Sergeant Alan Rolls says he is able to live with due to the support from his fellow soldiers. The Black Hawk maintainer says he still has memories of his brother, Sergeant Major General Joshua Prescott, taking him to the gym so he could meet the Army's prior male standards for physical fitness.
A few
years later, and his brother
Yeah, no way in hell.
Yep.
And just one other thing. Notice how his fear is fear of what other people in his own team might think. He's not saying, "Oh, Russia, China, someone else may come in and kill me." You notice he's not worried about that. He's worried about privilege bullshit stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That's
true. Yeah.
Being a diva. He that didn't even cross his mind. If you were worried about outside threat, you would put some of those needs aside and just shut up and fight to live and save yourself and your country and stuff.
For sure.
Operation Atlantic Resolve.
I think that's my favorite memory in the military.
That moment coming only after hours of interviews and loads of paperwork to be officially considered male by the U.S. Army. How hard is it to get that gender marker changed in the military?
What a joke.
It's hard.
It's hard.
From mental health.
Jesus.
A treatment plan that's time approved, your your new birth certificate.
But now Sergeant Alan Rolls is able to serve openly and authentically, something he says only improves his ability to serve the United States and keep all of us safe.
When something's hindering you mentally, you're not able to focus on the mission.
Exactly.
That's what
we've been never going to stop. Exactly.
That's what we've been. That's what AJ just said.
Yeah. Look at that, man.
Let them talk long enough, they tell themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
About who you are has allowed you to be a better soldier?
Absolutely.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I feel like I've changed a lot of minds and
The lie detector determined that was a
perception
lie.
of transgender soldiers. I hope I inspire someone to say, oh, okay, it's time for me to join the military.
And he certainly is so inspiring. I also want to mention for anyone who may be watching this and wants to come out but is nervous or isn't sure what to do, Sparta does.
No thanks.
Yeah. No, just stay home. Stay home. Stay home. That's what you do. You stay home.
Please.
The other guys alluded to this with the PT thing is the at least when I was active, and this was over 30 years ago, it was all about esprit de corps and unit cohesion. None of this individuality BS. It was, what are you going to do for the team, and you better step up.
Yeah. What a
I remember, dude, we used to do, speaking of, it was such, you're so about the team that I remember we used to do stuff together just to piss the higher ups off, even though we knew we all were going to get in trouble.
Yep.
Like I remember we had a refrigerator one time, and they told us that we couldn't put stuff, like we paid for this refrigerator, and we carried it on a ship, carried it up 6 flights of stairs, put it in one office, and they told us we couldn't put our own food in there. And then all our chiefs and all our officers started putting their food in it. So you know what we did? One night we went in there, we took all their shit out the refrigerator, and then we moved it up another 4 flights of steps up into another room where we all hung out just to piss them off.
Dante, what's up, dude? DTM is here. What's going on? No Biden. Nice name, dude. Desert Coyote's here. Laughing Man, good to see you, my friend. As usual, good to see you, man. Long time, buddy. Good to see you. Oliver, what's up, dude? Good to see you. The guys, here's this article. Look, Army sees sharp decline in white recruits. Look at that. Cooked. Why would a 18, 19, 20-year-old join the military in its current state? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I want to bet you're going to have a sharp decline in American recruits across the board. What you're going to see is a spike in Venezuelan immigrant recruits.
Yeah.
And they can join to get their green card.
Someone says the Army's recruiting of white soldiers has dropped significantly in the last half decade. A decline that accounts for much of the service's historic recruitment slump. Look at that, guys. Total of 44,042 new recruits were categorized by the service as white in 2018, but that number has fallen consistently each year to a low of 25,000. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
That's
in 2018, 56.4% of new recruits were white. In 2023, that's fallen to 44%. Look at that, man.
That is pretty significant.
Look at that. So the rate at which white recruitment has fallen far outpaces nationwide demographic shifts. Look at that. Here. So the problem has been pointed out to a confluence of issues, including Army recruiting, partisan scrutiny of the service, a growing obesity epidemic, and underfunded public education system. Look at that, guys.
Yeah, they're doing everything but tell the truth, and that the reason why the men don't want to join is because of rampant misandry in this country.
Yep, that's true. And guys, here's the thing too. There's one thing that like guys who fought in Korea and Vietnam, World War II, World War I had, and that was army wives. That wives that would actually not leave. My husband's never home.
Yeah.
You married a soldier or a sailor, you goof.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be home all the time? What are you talking about?
And they were the wives were shunned for cheating back then. Now they're rewarded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Were any of you guys on active duty early 90s?
Yep. Well, no, not early. I was 9907.
Yeah, I was
Okay, you were a little
96
bit too
until
late.
2014.
So AJ reminded me of something that I wanted to discuss, and that was early 90s. I want to say 92 or 93. There was a new commandant of the Marine Corps, and he was going to make it Marine Corps policy that if you were a Marine between the ages of 18 and 21, you could not get married. And the reason why he didn't want those young Marines getting married is because he was sick and tired of things like what AJ pointed out. These kids go on deployment, they're gone for 6 months or they're gone for 9 months, and wife gets upset, divorces him, takes him to the cleaners. Now this kid is
And then Nug comes in with a kid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The demographic, I think there's
That's
like
a
a
great-
70% divorce rate is why. It was all there to back it up.
It screws up potential careers. It screws up unit cohesion because this kid cannot function.
It's your life path.
And the you-know-who's just threw an absolute fit, and he ended up having to scrap his plans for that. But he basically cast up a warning. He says, you're doing the Corps a disservice.
Yeah,
Well, it's great because if they want to stick with you, they're going to stick with you either way. You know what I mean? You can kind of like mentally be married to someone and make it stick. So you know what I mean? So that actually is a really great idea. If you have a chick, basically what I'm saying, and this guy was thinking that too, if you have a chick that stayed with you that whole time without the title and did not go out and 304 it up and stuff, like that's going to be a solid relationship, basically. Or it has a higher chance.
He wanted those younger guys to focus on being a Marine first and then worry about getting a wife later.
I'll say this, out of my 6 or 7 buddies along with myself that all got married at that age, not a single one of us are with that woman that we married back then. Not a single one. Honest to God.
Now, guys, this says commanders cannot order military members to support children born outside of wedlock absent a court order, but they cannot order a member to undergo a DNA test. Hold on, where's this? Let's see. That's a civilian court. Okay, that makes sense. So they can only order you to comply with the court order that's been established by the court. So if a DNA test says it isn't yours, they can't. I mean, it isn't yours. They can't order you to pay for it. Soldiers, a male soldier has no legal obligation on this regulation to provide financial support to a child that's alleged to have been born to him and the child's mother out of wedlock. Interesting. Wow. So if you deny paternity, the Air Force won't claim that you're the dad. Okay. So for the Marines, in the instance where it's a request for support for a child born out of wedlock, the Marines shall provide support under this chapter only when paternity is established by court or administrative order. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Marine Corps. Let's go, man. Now, obviously, this has been a big deal for the Marines. They say we aren't ordering support until we get a DNA test, you know? Man.
Yeah, but they still bone you. If you get legally separated, she can sleep with every dude in town. You still have to give her almost like $600 or $700 a month until the divorce is finalized.
Yeah.
Which can be up to a year in the state that I'm in, like North Carolina. You have to be legally separated 1 year.
Damn.
And then they'll drag their feet afterward. Like, oh, sorry, it took 3 months longer.
Yep.
Look at that, man. They're trying to say, so partisan attacks from conservative lawmakers and media, which has an overwhelmingly white audience. These groups have used the military as a partisan cultural and as a Biden administration, saying so they're trying to say that conservatives saying the army is too woke is keeping guys. It is. It's supposed to.
Yep.
Come on,
it's
man.
the truth.
They demonized for the last 10 to 15 years, dude.
Yep. And they're trying to say that the drop in white male military matches college, where men aren't going to college anymore. Look at that.
Disgusting, man. Nobody should feel guilty for who they were born as, dude. Like you have a choice in the matter. You know, like
What are you talking about? Lenny snowboard. You guys know everywhere
silver spoon, AJ. You know
everywhere
us.
you white guys go, the freaking heavens open up and gold bars fall from the sky.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty dope. Like,
that's why I wanted to be sticking like that trans freaking Air Force instructor. Like I said, they grew up with a family. At least I never had a mother or a father. It was the God's grace and my family, my relatives that raised me, or else I would have been really screwed, dude. Wow. You know what I mean? But when I was 18, it was clear that I was out on my own, though.
That I don't like about these woke chicks, right? They're living on easy mode. Guys, you guys remember Halo 1 on Legendary? Even with like two people, how hard it was? Guys, we're playing Halo on Legendary, and these knuckleheads are freaking playing like the first level of Mario. And they're like, oh, we have it so hard. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Here we go, guys. Look.
Oh, Christ.
Nothing good can come from this, right?
Yeah, that's snot hook. Yeah.
All of these memes on TikTok about women getting drafted. And it's cutesy and it's all, it's like, hey, Barbie.
The glasses, the bull ring. And the nose.
You know she's got some tats on the forearm. She's got to.
Look at the size of this
yeah.
schnoz, dude. Jesus.
That kind of stuff. And it just had me thinking, like, I need to tell some stories about my experience in the military. Because if you didn't know, why would you? Because we only just met. I enlisted in the 2010s. I actually think it's really important to talk about the realities of being in the system, because too many people are making light of it, and I want to balance that out.
Your upward
I
inflection.
enlisted, and I was only in for 7 months because I got medically discharged.
Ah!
In that 7 months,
7 months.
Experiences were awesome.
7 months.
Soldier.
Yeah. 7 months. Just long enough to let Private Nug Sergeant Gavin
make this video. I can't imagine to make this video after 7 months.
Medically discharged means she shot herself in the foot or something. She self-inflicted as well.
Or she just got pregnant, got a bunch of deletions. When you get like 3 or 4 deletions in a row, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of chicks like this. They couldn't get a lot of dudes in high school, so they do join the military to have a more available pool of men, and they end up being the biggest 304s you've ever seen in your life.
And then the moment that they get pregnant,
it's awesome like a kid in the candy store, though, with some of them, dude. It's ridiculous. Because I would hear all the younger guys talk, when I was in charge of like 30 or 40 dudes. I would know that,
oh my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad when I was a younger guy, but it got horrible like around 2010 is what this thing's talking about.
Yeah, these chicks would literally have guys fighting over them.
Wow. Literally, they'd just have a different dude every night, just to have a different dude every night. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God. I'm not really surprised in a way, but I've never actually heard that, and that's new to me.
Yeah, they called them barracks.
So you're
whores,
saying
dude.
that's
the short, simple to the point, barracks whores.
Yeah, barracks monies, right?
And that's like what this chick is basically. Is what Walker.
Hey, AJ, you remember Street Fighter?
Yeah.
I swear to God, God is my witness. We had one chick, one B-dub from New York, and like she never like combed her hair, so it was like always like nappy and brushed back, and she looked just
like Blanca from Street Fighter.
No, she looked like Blanca. She looked like Blanca from Street. Yeah, right. And that's exactly what we called her, dude. That's and take a wild guess who her boyfriend was.
Who's that?
Snowboarder, you son of a bitch.
Because I love her.
I love her, man.
And when you try,
The heart
and you try to
wants
make
what
it,
it wants.
I want to party with you, cowboy.
And you know what I do? When I bang her, I hit her over the head like 2001: A Space Odyssey when they get the bone, and I just become a savage.
Guys, I don't know, man. All these B-dubs are after you white dudes now, man. They ain't walking. I ain't anything now. So all you white dudes, they're all yours, man. They're all yours. Look at that.
Now the fruits can have them.
First of all, I was in a bay at my basic training with 32 women. So it was me and 31 other women.
Oh, boo-hoo.
And relational aggression was severe. Very rarely did you actually have companionship with the other women because of the high stress environment. I'm not.
Whereas guys form bonds under high stress. Guys, walk, GL, honey, snowboard. You guys all did combat training in the military, but you guys train. You ever box in a boxing gym or kickbox or do jiu-jitsu or be on the wrestling team or the football team? Guys, those are some of your ride or dies for life. You understand? Guys who you'll sweat and bleed with. You know what I'm saying? Like you train with. Those are your ride or dies for life. And these chicks are all friggin' trying to cut each other off at the knees. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say there was 80 of us in a bay back in basic training. I don't know what she's whining about with 32.
Yeah, we had 90.
70. Yeah, there was 70 of us in a platoon.
Yeah, these chicks hate each other, man. So digital documentary says, I bet the smell was atrocious. But you said there's 24 chicks in that room. I bet the smell was atrocious.
Hey, they all get on the same cycle and stuff when you get that many together too, man.
There's a lot of truth to that. When you walk into the female barracks, there is a certain smell that will just turn your stomach. I'm not even joking. It's like walking into a fish market.
And then they're all on the rag at the same time, and it's
I'ma kill your bitch ass, bitch. Ellie, I'ma kill you, you fucking whore.
Yeah.
Saying it wasn't possible, but it wasn't easy. When I say relational aggression, I mean it gets pretty severe. When I was discharged, I met a girl who was in my discharge bay, and she told me that
Literally,
she experienced such severe relational bullying because she is biracial and she is also a redhead. So she had textured red hair and blue eyes, and I guess people kept calling her a lot of clown jokes.
That's pretty funny, actually. They call her Ronald McDonald. Yo, you could tell that was the military. Robble.
Discharged because in the middle of the night, she went to one of her bullies' beds, sat on her, and then choked her with her bare hands. This kind of leads to the conversation.
I bet they stopped calling her names after that, right? You know what I'm saying? Ronald McDonald will choke you.
Yeah.
In your sleep. You know what I'm saying? So
That's like getting waterboarded and roast beef.
No, it's the same thing. Like, dude, at least there's going to be at least one fist fight when you get that many men together at one point, and women, dude. Those two fist fights when I was at boot camp, and they both had to walk around for a week holding hands and print and like dancing around and shit.
Oh my god!
It's close and personal. Like you guys can shower together, shit together, piss together, eat together, and you're gonna be holding hands. They made them walk around holding hands, dude. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
Probably like best friends now.
Being best buddies after that. I'm not even kidding.
After the drill instructors left, if you had a problem with somebody, you had two people on watch, and they looked out for the other drill instructors, but you knew not to make too much noise. But you went in the bathroom and y'all had it out, and there was nobody there to stop you.
you guys know what's funny? You go to places like Ethiopia and stuff. LDHD TV is so unheard of that guys like who are friends will walk down the street holding hands.
I've heard this. Someone
Yeah,
told
you
me
go to
about this.
like Eritrea,
But it's an
Ethiopia,
innocent.
places.
It's a
Yeah,
completely
just
different
like
paradigm.
Doing his little boys and stuff. Yeah,
They
yeah.
do that in
Well,
Arabia as
they're
well.
just friends in a different way.
No. But they don't even have to have this conversation because the whole LDHC thing is non-existent there.
Yeah.
The idea that that's a thing, they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like that in the Middle East too.
Yeah. A friend of mine's Ethiopian, and he came over and like he was saying the difference is here. He's like, yeah, here you can't hold your friend's hand, or they're gonna think you're a couple. So him and his Ethiopian friends had to learn to like not do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, think about how crazy that is. Like the difference in the mindset where they live in an area where it's unheard of.
It's more
here,
pure.
They assume that's how common it is here. Absolutely insane.
It's a pure and untainted, unbrainwashed to a degree society.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's like but that is pretty crazy though.
Did you guys ever hear the whole Stucky thing that they were saying during like Captain America 1 and 2? Like they were saying, yes, Steve and Bucky, that they were, it's because they were boyfriends at such a lot. They're just best friends. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Isn't it crazy how they're like, well, men just don't open up with their emotions. Men don't have these real friendships. But then the moment that the guys are actually close friends, you call them gay.
Yeah, I was raised by like older people, like I told you, AJ, that grew up like during World War II and stuff. And they would literally say, what I can remember, like when I was a teenager, "Oh, you're going out with your boyfriend," and they would say it perfectly innocently. It wasn't meaning you were a couple fruits. They would just, if you had a guy as a friend, they would say your boyfriend. I swear to God, they said that.
Yeah.
Not even with any connotation, just like you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man.
And I'd be like, "Hey, don't say that. He ain't my boyfriend," because they wouldn't even understand, Yeah.
Well, it's also corrupted. If I say, "Hey, I'm with my partner," it could be business partner. Like, we're actually doing work.
Yeah, or
as
howdy, partner.
entrepreneurs or something. But but people automatically, they're so woke, they want to like look for that aspect of it.
That they go down the Diddy route.
Yeah. And that's a slippery slope from all that baby oil.
Sure looks shiny to me.
Like I said,
And a
that
lot of
guy
this
might
is
end up deleted by like Tuesday.
I
Because that's
know,
when his
man.
thing starts. He might end up deleted. So he might be being deleted like right now, which would be kind of cool.
They'll find him drowned in a bunch of friggin' baby oil.
Yeah, no, he's gonna commit quote self-delete somehow. Yeah, like drowning. Oh, he just drowned in a toilet somehow, but he did it on his own. Like that might happen. I'm not saying that will, but that would be. I remember a few days ago, I kind of was making a bet that this could happen. So we'll see.
Hold on, guys. Let me find this one thing here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. You guys are gonna laugh. Hold on. Where was this? This guy. Let me see. Can I find it? Oh man. Hold on. Best. Hold on. It was a short, I think. This guy made Puff Daddy on WWE, the new one, the game, and he had him come out with a towel on. And then he did Xbox Bronco Buster on a guy. It was hilarious. I can't find it now. Oh man. Oh well. Anyways, I digress.
Issues are gender-based, but they are also race-based. Again, this is my limited experience, but I had a lot of memories of this in my short time. I remember one girl in my barracks who needed birth control, probably for medical reasons. And when all of the other women found out that she got her birth control, they all just kept calling her like, and this was commonplace because not a lot of people were nice to each other. And that was common. Like if you were to even socialize with the men, because we were in a co-ed mixing, like you would get called that a lot by the men as well. I did. all the time just for being nice to like my male counterparts. They would accuse you of trying to seduce them. And in fact, there was a girl who ended up, I guess, passing notes with a boy. And they made them stand in front of us and like made fun of them and read their letters back and forth. They docked their pay. They didn't recycle them, which means make them restart basic. But I can promise you that that girl was called a lot of things. And the guy was just kind of left alone, mostly by
Boo-hoo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, are your arms tired?
Yeah.
Tired from playing the violin, guys?
So what you won't
I zoned out. What was she even talking about?
So what you won't tell you is that during basic, a lot of these girls on Sunday you're allowed to go to church services, which is really the only time as a male you have any interaction with females. So a lot of the males would generally go to church services because they wanted a break from from boot camp, pretty much, right? And when you go to the chapel, that's like pretty much the one place where all the stuff that's going on in the military isn't really supposed to affect you because they're supposed to give you like time off to worship. But what happened with you have all these horny girls come in, and now they're wanting you to sneak to somewhere quiet and give them some D. And so you have a lot of these chicks getting boned, and while church service is going on.
So in the middle of the sermon, all these chicks are sneaking out.
Y'all want to ask me what I'm doing? I'm outside hoeing. I work at hoeing. Y'all want to know what company I work at? I work at hoeing. That's the company I work at, hoeing.
Yes.
by his peers. He was seen as an instigator. Going back to some of the systemic issues, one of the memories that I carry with me all the time is that a great proportion of the people in my basic training were not white. And I could easily recognize the privilege built into the system. And one memory that stands out to me is that your hair has to be, to be up to code, it has to be like very flat against your head and in a bun. And there was a girl who I was friends with or acquaintances with, as best as
I can't, guys.
Yeah, stop this. Stop this nonsense.
Guys. I can't. But guys, we're gonna really get into it now. We're gonna really get into it now. Guys, I'm so sorry. I have to subject you to this.
I'm gonna see. It's gonna be some big monster, isn't it?
Wait
my God!
Wait for it. Wait for it. Hold on. Whoops.
First sergeant just called me. Was on my right. Basically.
Oh my
look at
God!
That! Look at that, guys! What is going on? Look at that!
Push it out as far as possible. Take as many classes as possible. Let's fucking go. First sergeant.
Jesus. Look at that.
So I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. Like, one of the worst feelings is being on leave and then coming off that leave to come back to work.
Let's be honest.
Because on leave, like, you military. You military, but like you not. You living your best life. You making a good little check. Like, yeah, this is mine right here.
Beetlejuice.
And then you gotta come back and face reality that, bitch, you're in the military. Come back, all these rules and all the military stuff. You gotta come back. You got to.
So why'd you join? Why'd you join? You absolute
There's not a single person in the military that's came back off of taking leave and said, "Wow, I'm glad to be back here." Never in the history of mankind.
Just obvious stuff.
Things you should know before leaving a basic training. Do not come with a million outfits.
Let's be honest.
Wear what you're going to wear the day of and what you're going to sleep in at the hotel. And if you could drop off the stuff you sleep in before you leave, do that. Get rid of that. You don't need it. It's just extra weight you're going to have to carry when you're getting smoke hopping off that bus. I feel like this one's kind of self-explanatory, but work out before you leave.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's going to be so much easier if
You expect these broads to actually be proactive in doing anything?
I don't even know what they do anymore. It was like going to prison when I went to boot camp. Like, everything you had to fit in a paper bag, dude. You weren't allowed to bring outfits and stuff. You were allowed to bring what was on your back and like an address book. That was it.
Hey, walk, GL. Did you guys Did you guys run in combat boots or did you
Yes.
run in
No,
running
we
shoes?
had to double time in freaking boondockers. And then I find out about a year and a half later after I'm on board ship that, oh yeah, everybody gets these little sores on their feet. So they're now issuing tennis shoes to all the recruits.
Here's
Boy,
the
they're
thing.
going to hate life once they get out of boot camp then.
Guys, a lot of older veterans now are actually getting their disability upped because they're actually realizing, hey, having you guys cuff it on concrete wearing combat boots is bad for your hips and your knees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every veteran I know has knee problems.
Yeah. Well, guys, go in and get evaluated because my mom, she was putting it off. She has a bad knee. My mom, she was in the late 60s. She was in from 69. Hold on.
Hey, now.
This guy. Hold on. Yeah,
I'm probably going to have reconstructive surgery on both knees.
Yeah, hey man, that service connected, man. You know what I'm saying? You would get your money. Yeah, she was in from 1970 to 1983, I believe.
Yeah.
And now she's 71 now. Her right knee is just cooked, and it's all from that running in those. Dang, Steve said he has a torn meniscus in both knees. Look at that, man.
Yeah, and then if you're in the Navy, you have to literally climb ladders all day long.
Not just that though. Hey, walk. What's the only thing worse than walking on concrete or on asphalt? Is walking on metal.
Yeah.
You're walking on metal.
Yeah.
Like in the bowels, the shit. Clank, 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 clank. You think that's good for your knees and your feet? Come on now. So
yeah.
Carrier ladders aren't that steep.
Man.
Come in already fit. Okay, at least work on your push-ups because I guarantee you're going to do 1,000,000 of them while you're there. When they give you that first phone call to give your address to family members and stuff like that, take a picture, send it in a text so they can have it and they can send it out themselves. You only get one phone call. At least for me, I only had 2 phone calls during basic. Times have changed. I don't know, but it also depends on your drill sergeant. So it's easier to spread out that way. Probably one of the most important ones.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying
guys, let me know if you've seen this happen. Here you go.
Because it has happened. Before you leave to basic, I get it. Everybody has bills, stuff like that. There is auto pay now, right? Do not trust your girlfriend you have going in, your boyfriend you have going in, your significant other. I don't care how long you guys been together. I don't care how close you guys are or how solid you think that relationship is. Do not trust someone you are dating or even a sketchy family member with your banking information. Set it up with either someone you really trust, like you absolutely trust. And I'm saying it again, not a boyfriend or girlfriend. Just don't do it.
Can you imagine all your money is gone? This person said that I've seen mothers, fathers, and uncles steal all the money out of the bank account. I knew a guy who went home to find out mom and dad moved, emptied the bank account, and sold all their stuff, car, clothing, and tools. Look at that, man. All he was that basic. Absolutely insane. Look at that. Colin, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. You guys are on a roll today.
Oh, here you go.
Hi.
Yeah. I have this thing. Watch.
My name's Cal, and I'm a trans service member in the Army.
Jesus Christ. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Now, Colin. I think Colin, you weren't military, were you?
No, I was supposed to be, but because of that wretched mother of mine, unfortunately, I ended up in high school. Back when I was 16, I was already set to go for the what do they call it, the ROTC or whatever, basically where the Marine Corps they start
ROTC,
where they start training you to get ready for boot camp the day you turn 18, and of course that wretched mother of mine, she had to come in. No, I can't have my son who's getting paid to murder people. Yeah. So no, biggest mistake I ever made in my life, dude.
I can do you one better, Colin.
What's
I
that?
know a guy. So he was in ROTC in undergrad.
Yeah.
He went to a private school, right?
Mhm.
All he had to do was graduate and then do like his 4 years, I think. But instead, he dropped out of ROTC his last year. Guys, he has $235,000 in student loan debt. Guess how much his student loan payment is. Guess how much it is.
I'm going to say probably about $1,500 a month.
$2,300 a month.
He's done for life. He's done for life. Yeah, he's done for life.
Insane. Look at that bookworm. What's up, dude? Oh, he was in the army around, man. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Remixer. What's up, man? Good
My
to see
daughter's
you.
about to get her 2-year degree here in September, and it was 100% paid for by the VA, dude.
Nice, man.
Pretty ridiculously awesome.
What's her degree in?
She's just doing the associate in arts now, but then she's going to specialize just for office administration. You know, it's like typical woman jobs.
Well, hey, there's a lot of, if she wants to do an easy woman job that pays a lot, 2 words: dental hygienist. They get paid, man. They get paid pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
My uncle was a retired dentist. Yep.
Yeah. And
in West Virginia, so he definitely had his bases covered.
But Colin, snowboard, since us three haven't been in the military, if you could turn yourself back to like 18, 19 years old, well, would you join?
Absolutely.
Now? No, in 2025.
Hell no. Oh, today? No.
Guys, I would never join the military now, ever.
And they're trying to like remarket it as like cool, like cool stuff.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you're going to be like on a dirt bike and have like SMG driving around shooting. Like, you're going to be doing something that sucks too. It's not anything like that used to be. You could do something actually cool.
Think of this though. Like, you used to, like, think about like back when I was young, and you saw like, Vietnam War veterans, Gulf War veterans, World War II veterans. There's a certain amount of respect that those guys got because you knew like what they signed up for. Now the military, man, men don't get respect, period. So it's like, what are you going to risk your life to defend a country that hates you? That just blatantly just is not even trying to hide it. Unabashedly hates you.
So part of the reason men don't get respect anymore is because they've lowered the standards that they've allowed so many women in. So the mentality is, well, if it's not a big deal if a woman can do it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have they're actually increasing the age of which men can join because male recruitment is so low. So I think up to like now at 50 you can join the army.
Yeah. Wow. Steve
15?
says 50.
Oh,
50, 50.
Steve says to file a claim, call this number, tell them you're going to file a letter of intent for medical evidence. Yeah, guys, here, hit up Steve M on Discord, right? Or hit me up and I can give you his info because Steve's like a master of the VA paperwork. So I was talking to him offline. And yeah, guys, he's kind of like, his mission is to help all you veterans who are having issues with like the VA, your benefits. So guys, make sure to reach out to Steve. If you're in the Discord, his name's the same. You know what I'm saying? So guys, or if you want to reach out to him, you can't find him, guys, reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with him. Okay. So yeah, really nice. But guys, that whole thing just drives me nuts. How I know so many military guys are just like, not, guys, you guys risk your lives. Like the benefits the VA gives and the government, that's the least that they can do. And I know guys, I'm just fine. I don't need that. It's like, why? This isn't like you're some 304 begging for freaking government benefits. You earned it.
If you did one enlistment or whatever, got hurt, whatever, do it. File a claim.
Yes.
VA.gov or call that number. Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, I held off for years and
See?
got,
Hold on, wait. GL, this is you, right? Explain the rationale and why you held off for years. I want everyone to hear this. Because here. Let me tell me your experience, and then I want to see if this tracks for what I think it is.
Part of it was so when I finished up because they had found cancer, so I was on 2 years of medical hold.
Jesus.
And then I decided not to stay in because of part of the fallout from the tailhook scandal, because I was in the Navy. And we can come back to that if you guys are interested in it, because you may not know the history of tailhook.
Yeah, I don't know the history of that.
Okay. But anyway, I had also had ear surgery, and I had some hearing issues. But when I was getting out, I had a senior chief or somebody say, "Go file with the VA the day you get your discharge." And I said, "No, I don't want anything to do with the military." He said, "Just freaking file." And I said, "Well, I don't think they're going to give me any money anyway." And it was basically, "Look stupid, go file." And I didn't for many years. And then I think it was about 10 years ago, I had a buddy who had served in Nam, and he was telling me all these stories about how he kept going back to the VA and they kept bumping up his disability. And he finally got to the point where he's like 95% disabled.
Nice.
And was really, yeah. And he was pretty ripped up too, even for a guy who was in the Air Force. And so finally I went in there and I filed a claim, and son of a gun, if I didn't get a little bit of money. And I figured, man, what the hell? But then 2 years ago or a year ago, they expanded for people who were exposed to certain types of chemicals during Vietnam, burn pits. And then there was some stuff like when I was on a carrier. Well, my oldest brother was in the Seabees just after Vietnam, and he's been racked up with all kinds of stuff. And I said, "Take your dumb ass up to the VA," because I said, "I'm getting ready to go file for more to see if I qualify." And sure enough, man, he got quite a bit of a little bit of a medical settlement. And he said, "Hell, they're going to pay for me to get hearing aids too." I said, "Freaking do it. You put off long enough." So that's my story.
The thing is they just teach you guys like, oh, well, asking for what you're entitled to, that's entitlement, and you're begging and you're weak. It's like, no, guys, you earned it. Yeah, if there's anyone who can ask for this, it's you guys. Guys, I honestly believe this. If you serve and you're deployed, and there's a certain threshold of like not even being in combat, but a dangerous situation. So, for instance, Lenny being in his job, certain jobs, if you do that job, whether you're in a combat zone or not, if the training can kill you, you should not have to work for the rest of your life. Period. That's what I think. I think that by serving this country, they should have like a means test for the county you're in, the state, to where you can afford to live on your own and survive for the rest of your life, period. That's just my opinion, Who was saying something?
No, I was just saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, out of my 3,000 hours, I think 1,500 were combat. I had a ton. I had I don't know, for the Air Force guys and all that, you probably know I had 15 air medals. So, no joke, man.
Man.
Yeah. I just want to say something. I think part of why people don't ask for the care they need and stuff is because we live in such an insurance mindset. Like, we're like, well, the insurance is going to cost so much, so I shouldn't even try and ask. And it's like, it should be a public service that they actually just help take care of people. But it's just all about a lot of the healthcare system in general, or the way that we consider it, is just about money, because it kind of is.
Yeah. And I think
so I don't blame people for not wanting to ask for the help, because it could actually be worse asking.
Yeah, and now the whole Camp Lejeune thing is kicking off now. That craziness. That was nuts. Gio had said, those burn pits now, they still haven't figured out Gulf War syndrome yet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they didn't use any chemical weapons. Oh, everyone was just getting sick. So I was like, oh, Agent Orange. Oh, what's that? You know, just all these things. Guys, even the police. Colin, do you remember in the late 90s and the 2000s where there was meth labs just blowing up all over Seattle and Olympia and Tacoma and Ellensburg and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you remember how they would send in like firefighters and stuff in their regular gear?
Oh, yeah.
And now you see them going in hazmat gear.
Yeah.
And now you see all these firefighters retiring, and they're all jacked up. And the state of Washington's not trying to pay their disability or their retirement or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's been multiple class action lawsuits going on because these firefighters are all messed up from being in those meth labs without the proper protection. You know?
Oh, hell, when I was on board ship, we called it slushing wire rope. You know, civilians call it cable. And slushing means you got to take the cable, stick it in a gigantic pan of solvent, and they didn't give us gloves or anything. We had to clean all the grease off. We had to clean the grease off. Then we had to wipe it down with rags, and then we had to re-grease it all with fresh grease with bare hands.
Yeah. Well, I was a chopper dude, and you know, all those dusty landings and stuff from landing over there all the time. I developed a dust allergy, dude. Never had it before in my life. Now, if I get dust on me, literally looks like I have poison ivy. I get like boils.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
just crazy
also,
stuff,
I
dude,
think
from
about
Afghanistan, Iraq, the dust over there, dude.
all those exhaust fumes you were breathing in all that time too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That couldn't have been good for you.
I
You
had
know?
to suck in a lot of that setting up on the island structure during carrier ops, serving as lookout, and you're just breathing that crap all day long.
Yep. Okay, here we go. So this chick's gonna give us her take on what to expect as a woman in the Marine Corps.
United States Marine Corps and you're a female. I'm just going to answer the questions that I normally get in my DMs. What's it like being a female in the Marine Corps? Two versions of it. On one hand,
all the questions are from Sims too.
Devastating and disheartening being in the patriarchy that is inherently in the Marine Corps.
There it is. And she can't even say patriarchy. She says patriarchy.
She must be getting treated the same as all the guys. That's why she's so butthurt. Yeah, that's why she's so butthurt.
Look at
some people are really fucking stupid.
In my era of being this female in rough situations with men. God, I don't even want to talk about it. There's a lot of trauma there. I was very bitter.
Yeah, because you're 304.
It drove me to the point of wanting. Through that era, I was looked as very emotional.
You are.
Very dramatic.
You are.
Had an attitude. Now, mind you, if it were a man saying the things that I was saying, it wouldn't have even been a double take.
A man wouldn't say the things you're saying because they follow orders. They sit there and follow orders. What are you talking about? Heavy on, if the man were to say the things I said, it would have been a double take.
She took double.
Man,
before.
A man wouldn't have, have said the things you said. Men aren't.
Dude, I went to school with the Marines, and that was the most fun I had in 7 years in the military.
Men tend to follow
some shit up.
orders.
We
that,
got to
that is what you are supposed to do in the Marines. Laughing face.
Yeah, dude.
we had a
post.
We had a sister class where this one guy in the other class was ordered to go get a haircut, and he wasn't conforming to the standards that for a Marine Corps haircut. And after the third time, his instructor said he didn't meet the standards. His instructor said, "I don't know what to do with you." And we were treated to this guy getting his ass chewed by the captain and the captain's office was clear on the other side of the building.
Damn.
Now, if that happened when I was in, they would hold you down and shave your head for you if you didn't have a proper haircut.
You'd be like on the
They just hold you down and shave it bald all the way down. Yeah.
You remember Mr. Burns? Shave those sideburns. You remember on the baseball episode of The Simpsons? I said shave those sideburns, hippie. He's like, what are you talking about?
So that is one version of the Marine Corps as a female. I got very lucky to go to another unit where that was not the case. And I can tell you that now, not only have I learned from those experiences, but I've experienced what it's like to be female in the Marine Corps that is respected, that can get the job done.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
She's banging a guy senior to hers. What's going on right now? Let's change your outlook. And she's getting preferential treatment. I'll bet you money on it.
She wouldn't have liked the female E9 at that school that I attended because everybody had mad respect for her.
Yeah, she can get the job done as long as it's a blow job.
or a hand jibber, right? You know what I mean? Guys, here's the thing. Once again, men have a hard time respecting these women because they know for a fact they shouldn't be there because they didn't have to do their standards were lower. Guys, any woman who's in the military didn't have to do what you did to get there. Fundamentally. They have a different standard, but you're supposed to lie to yourself and act like you're the same. Clown world. And this is why we think about the whole force doctrine that Andrew Wilson talks about, right? Why that's so, like, we get it because that's how we have to think, right? And women live in this fairy tale land. If GL, Lenny Snowboard, and Colin and I were walking into a bar, right? What's the first thing we do? We look and see, all right.
Size up every man in the bar.
Yeah, we can kick their ass. We can kick their ass. They look a little bit dangerous because force, ultimately, things are settled by force. Guys, feminism in and of itself is nonsensical. Why? Because they have to appeal to the patriarchy to take down the patriarchy. That's circular. Think about that. Men own the monopoly on force. So they have to appeal to men to get more rights that men give them in the first place. Do you understand? That makes no sense. They can't fight us men, so they have to appeal to men to give them rights and then protect said rights, which is why feminism is just stupid. It's dumb. It's moronic. You know? Absolutely insane.
Unfortunately, there are some units that a lot of the male Marines that I worked with that contributed to my traumas.
I have something to say. We could replace
traumas. Please. What are you saying?
In some of those scenarios, we can replace the word feminism with greed.
Yeah.
Because they're all about themselves, what they want, what benefits them.
Sure.
Like, in a way, like that's kind of like so they can
not
use
in
that
a way. Not in a way. No. You are being snowboard. You're being surprisingly nice. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Who is this person that's calling himself Snowboard?
You've been had. You've been bamboozled, led astray, run on muck.
I think
you know what it is, AJ.
My brother says this the most. He says, "When men win, everyone wins. When women win, women win."
Yeah. You know
that's
what Snowboard's trying to do. There's some new B-dub he's trying to impress.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Yeah. So guys, the issue is because we have this conversation, guys, because women, so put a 1. Well, first of all, hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button for a membership, guys. Hit the super chat button, and thanks for the cast apps, guys. We will have some daytime lives, guys, and put a 1 if you agree. women are inherently selfish because they have to be, because they have to survive, right? It's a survival thing. They have to protect themselves so that they can be available to carry on the next generation, right? Which is why, like, these women will lie, cheat, steal, screw each other, people over. But societal norms and law and religion has made them selfless back in the day, right? Where they had to be conditioned to prioritize family and children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the community, because of shame. Shame was a thing that those politics, religion, social norms have done to make them care about things other than themselves. And guys, what have we stripped away, right? Religion, shame, and social norms, right? And any type of like positive political movement that would actually make them give a damn about anyone else but themselves. And this is where we end up.
Well, not just
This
that,
is where we end up.
there was also, there was physical punishment. They were expected to behave a certain way, or their husbands could legally go upside their head.
Or the women of the neighborhood would mess them up too.
Yeah, that
If
still happens
they knew,
in Latin countries.
Yes, if they knew that there was some 304 out there hoeing around her, trying to hoe around with the husbands, they would take care of business. You know what I'm saying? The other wives would get together and take care of business. Now, guys, here we have a video, right? And this is Gen Z explains why they won't join the military. So here, guys, we'll start this.
What would the motivations be for Gen Z joining the military outside of?
Of course, right? Of course, it's a bunch of B-dubs.
The usual suspects.
You guys didn't see. Look. Guys, look, watch. If you watch it in slow motion. That snowboard in the middle. Get it.
Snowboarder, get your baby mama.
I can't help myself.
All that jelly and no shape.
Oh, look at that, Steve.
And I was doing a snow angel on that linoleum floor, and they're dancing over me.
Steve M, what's going on, my friend? How you doing, man? Uh-oh. Oh. Steve, yeah, but turn the YouTube off in the background, and you're fine. Now I can hear you. So, yeah, so any other window, just turn it off, all right? And I'll unmute you, and then unmute yourself, because we had an echo going on. So, but yeah, guys, Steve's been a long time subscriber of mine too, man. So, Steve, what's up, dude?
All right.
I can hear you now.
What's up, man?
Steve, are you there? Well, he's getting that sorted out.
Next caller.
Okay, here's you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you a quick story.
Come closer to the mic, dude.
It was a Green Beret. He did like 6 deployments, and I kept pounding.
Hey, Steve, your mic is cutting out, dude. Here, Steve. Steve, hold on. I gotta mute you, dude.
And
yeah, Steve, you gotta come closer to the mic, or get a headset, or use your phone. You know what I'm saying? If you have a phone, like a smartphone, use your phone, because you're far away and your microphone's going in and out. So try and fix that, and then we'll and then unmute.
Abortion, brother, are you committed to spreading the United States of degeneracy?
Because this is what day one looks like now. You think of
I saw this TikTok, had to share. You got this young fella, Gen Z, and he's parroting why Gen Z doesn't want to join the military. Some of the points I've heard from you guys in the comments, the video I did about the guy in Poland trolling the soldiers, I know what it is. Stand by. Let's see if we can dissect it. They have too much information. Let's go.
If I were to die, I'm still going to be alive on the internet.
I'm in the ghetto. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
Christ.
Uniform making me look thick. Wait, I forgot my phone. I got a drink.
Give me some context before we get into the young fella. Glad you're here. Welcome back to James's Travels. So, I don't know if it's a skit. It's the real army. See, so
I hope to God that this is
Yeah, man.
Please, please,
This
God.
is insane.
Please, God. Dude, man, oh man, oh man.
so many TikToks that don't make the military look good. I get it. Young people are going to have fun. But if you're an employer, what do you want your employee
Can we
making
just
their company
pause it
look
for a
stupid?
second?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a quick second. That is kind of like, I get that it's kind of fun, but this is what makes people like a schizophrenic, is seeing something like this and being like, should I be taking this seriously? And is this people in my own army doing that and stuff? Like, if you have the tism, we're going to like believe all this, and it's just going to seem like it's just very strange.
Those don't
and
even
only
look like
kind
real
of makes you
Kevlars.
look
Those look
weaker
like a plastic
too.
helmet.
Lenny, what were you saying?
The video does not even look authentic to me. It looks like a plastic helmet, not even a Kevlar helmet.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You can tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? All you military guys can. We can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but it still seems like a bit like just strange. Like everything is being like overly acted and someone's filming it. So like we're so used to watching people be like filmed now that I don't think we think about it that somebody like might have had to like put the camera there and make it look a certain way and stuff.
Yeah.
Water out of this? Renegade. Oh, grenade. It's fucking hot out here. Where's the AC? Let's break. Wait, I don't have my gun.
Attention! Sir, yes, sir. Private August. Yes, sir. My parents raised me a non-binary. Just how we like it, Private. Private, are you ready to die for pride parades in Kiev? Are you ready to die for our greatest ally, Private? Private, are you willing to die to maintain the sovereign state of Israel?
I've heard this a lot in the comments over the years. All of these statements could be fringe, but I've heard thousands of times from Gen Z saying this. So I don't know how much a Gen Z that's eligible to go in thinks this, because the patriotism, you didn't build that, I was never proud of America, is gone. So now it's just a job. You're not going in thinking, okay, I'm going to make this into an adventure, grow up. Because we're going to get to an army vet, looks like, talking about this. Like, why would Gen Z join? You saw him at the beginning. He's got some interesting points. Stand by.
Are you willing to die for the revision of sodomy laws? What about abortion, Private? Are you ready to die for abortion? Private, are you committed to spreading the United States of degeneracy?
I don't know what you can argue with this kid now, what we see with our own eyeballs, right?
I was going to say, this kid's making great points.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. True.
It's like a big goof. It is like, thought provoking. Yeah. I don't know, man. Whenever anybody brings up the whole Israel thing, man, I look at it differently. I was over there, and we actually did a joint operation with them in Nevatin in 1998. When I was there, we ported in Haifa, one of the last ships to ever do that. Because the stuff was actually a little bit of a lull in between. So I got to spend about a month there, believe it or not. It was crazy, man. It totally changed your perspective on them as a nation, but I'll leave it at that, dude.
Well, I just don't, but there's this thing going on now where like the left and the right have this presupposition now. It's the Jews, man.
It was pretty nuts, man.
Guys, what I'm saying is like that doesn't fly here because, guys, look, any type of this disempowering conspiracy theory stuff, let's just say it was. What can we do about it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the same way that it's all white people, it's the man, it's the fuzz. It's holding me down as a black man. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame any one group for anything. Because all of us are gonna get our money regardless. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point?
Yeah, when you boil down to it, it's the average Israeli is just doing the same thing we're doing, which is just trying to survive day to day, trying to spend time with their family when they're not at work, and that's it. But it's the politicians on in this country and that country that are pushing the nonsense.
Well, you see how responsible they were too, guys. Like, it's no joke over there. Like, you see some hot chick with blue eyes, you know, dark hair, and she had an M16 with the mag in, dude, just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, no joke, when at all times you're walking around with a loaded weapon if you're in the armed forces there. Like, I was in Haifa, like I said, then at Nevatin, where it was an old A5 Skyhawk base, you know, and they're literally, we were flying in. Some of the target ranges we used were literally abandoned columns from the 3-day war and stuff. It was pretty trippy, dude.
But the point is that why this kid is saying it, or this guy is saying that, is because that's like one of 50 things. Like, we just extrapolated that way too far, but it's like one of 50 small things they're going to say, like, yeah, well, this could suck, as like reasons not to join. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's spot on with a lot of it, though. He's spot on.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, guys,
but I'm saying through the view of a 20-year-old, that's like what, like, they didn't get to like think about it very deep. They, you know, but they still have an opinion on it.
But well, here's the thing: these 20-year-olds, they're post 9/11, right? And then also, like, they were young during like the Iraq War and all of that. But guys, once again, and this is one of the best like Marvel storylines, is when Steve Rogers stops being Captain America because he's doing all the stuff in the 80s in the Cold War, and he's like, wait a minute, because he grew up defending America and not American interests, which can be two different things. You know what I'm saying? And Steve Rogers is like, wait a minute, who are we fighting? Why are we doing this again? You know what I mean? So that's when he became the U.S. agent. He was Nomad, and then he was U.S. agent, right? But yeah, like you're having a harder and harder time selling American interests to younger people now instead of defending America. So,
young son to Ukraine right now. And we saw what happened 20 years in the desert. We left, come back with what? I mean, I don't even see oil being cheaper. You think there'd be something, right? Do I feel safer after 20 years, after 9/11? You know, 9/11, we had a record group of people who joined, right? They were patriotic. And you look back 22 years later and you go, it swung the other direction.
Every single darn part of this world. I'm talking about transhumanism in Sweden and child bottom surgery in Portugal. Sir, yes, sir.
Not me being dramatic. Girl, guess what? I just got kidnapped.
Think about it. You're young.
That is kind of funny.
I remember I used to spend a lot of time with like colonels and generals and stuff since I was air crew. You know, they were pilots, so they just BS, dude. I had one
What's
of my
up,
last colonels before I retired. He was talking. Him and his wife were really religious, right? His wife was really religious. He wasn't so much, but she was just disgusted that she was having to go to spouse training for transgender and all that stuff because that went against everything that she was personally against.
What? Yeah. Steve, we can hear you now, man. You sound fine.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Okay. Check it out. All right, I got a lot of distrust with the VA. So
hello?
Yeah, you still there?
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. Yeah, continue. That.
All right. Yep. I am not a VSO, a veteran service officer. However,
okay. Do you have the YouTube playing in the background?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Hold on.
Turn the YouTube off.
How the hell do I do that?
Is it on your phone or on your computer?
You son of a bitch. Hold on.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. Close the window that has YouTube, and then just on the StreamYard. Yeah, or like close the YouTube app.
I'm trying.
Yeah, that happens. That's why I don't.
You don't need YouTube on to do this. You can just do it with StreamYard.
Yeah, that's why I don't use Zoom, because Zoom is even harder. That's why Kevin Samuels, he would always tell these chicks, "Hey, turn off the YouTube," and they're like, "Oh," you know. So, but let me see. Big Shooter, what's up, man? Let me see. Who did I miss?
That didn't work.
Here, Steve. Here, just mute, and then
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying.
You figure it out. Here. Hold on. Yeah. So, yeah, guys. Anyone who calls in, just make sure that you turn off the YouTube. So if you have the YouTube app open, just close it, and then just be on the StreamYard. So,
young man, want to test your metal, and then you see these kind of things. Sure, it's a skit, but some of these aren't skits. I don't know what's going on, but you see these people make it look stupid. It's not helpful at all. Again, we're going to get to the Army guy talking about why would Gen Z join? He's got some good points.
I'm calling you through my Apple Watch. So, where are the bathrooms? I'm not using those. Actually, my pronouns are hot, sexy, and obviously we're getting attacked. Oh, that's not really.
That was the pronoun theater, the studying of brave trans people. All that. Does that help in recruiting? We're getting a mass influx of people that are transgender joining the military. Does it help? I mean, if it does help, I go, okay, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think all the things combined, and now Gen Z's got all this information at their fingertips. They can see it with their own eyes.
My thing, you know what I'm saying? Hey Siri, call an Uber. And then he took off his mask and...
Hey, we're drafting you to the Army. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, hell no. Oh, but look, you get to become TikTok famous.
I think there's some people really joining the Instagram, the TikTok.
Yeah, people do that.
I didn't grow up.
That's what these chicks do. That's what these chicks do. Look. Hold on. Here we go. Look.
No one's ever gonna take.
I'm gonna mute these because they all use this copyright music. And of course, watch. Where are these chicks friggin' dancing? Why?
Millionaire, law student, millionaire.
Well, dude, this is their way of trying to attract you in. Like, hey, you're going to be like famous. So how it used to be, like, you respect people.
There it is. There it is, snowboard. There.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Let's watch this tattoo.
Look at that. Look at that right there.
You tell her she's a goddamn whore.
Right there. Right there, man. Look at that.
Nice catch.
Let's see her show us how to do some push-ups, guys. Come on, man. Aren't you supposed to go like all the way down? What are you doing? Look at that. Jesus. Oh my gosh. What is Look. What has the military done for you? Jesus.
Oh my God.
Look at that, guys. Look at that.
This is what I'm saying, man. This is how you become like. It's crazy because you don't know what to really believe. If you're being a kid now looking at this, you don't really know like what's like real or what's like bullshit.
Look at this. Are they just trying to get credit for like doing barely any push-ups? Jesus, look at this, guys. They're trying to be TikTok fan.
But dude, imagine like setting up a camera before you did like anything in your life, like doing that all the time. It's like it's crazy. Like their like self-esteem is like from like viewing a screen. It's strange.
What a mess. What a mess. Look. Guys, this is someone fucking say something. Bro. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. Unbelievable. Guys, they're getting paid.
Dude, our own army's gonna have like OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at that, guys. Ugh, look at that, guys. Oh, guys, let's see these push-ups. What a mess. What a mess. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, did you guys see that stupid movie that Netflix made? The 688. Did you see that?
No.
No.
So they made a movie about these black chicks that were like sorting the mail during World War II. Like they had an impossible mission. I'm sorry, weren't there guys storming the beaches at Normandy? What are you talking about? They had to sort the mail so the men would get the mail. They broke down barriers. They sorted the mail. What are you talking about? What a joke. We have an important mission. We had an impossible mission. What a joke. This is proof that women want credit for just doing the dumbest things. What are you talking about? He got a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yikes, dude. Look at that.
Why is it called the six?
Mission.
Why is it called the 688?
That was their unit number.
Okay.
6888. Look at that, man. Trash. They were black women and they did an impossible mission. This guy says so the movie is god awful, terrible, insane, unforgettable, and just pure cringe. Damn. How do you really feel, dude? Look at that. Look at that, man. I just don't understand. This would be like saying, "Oh, there was a bunch of white women who had an impossible mission of like, I don't even know what's the mail. Oh, they had to cook 5,000 pies for the freaking." For some military banquet. Yeah. Woo! Please. Look at that, man. Absolute crap. So, and all these people saying it's bad. And of course, there's people saying, if you don't like this, you're a racist. Look at that. What a mess. And they were like in England the entire time, in no danger, nowhere near a war zone at all. What a mess.
With any of it, so maybe it's a thing. And maybe it's a good thing. They want to go in and they love it and they become lifers, right? I don't know that's the case, though, because it's not even as good as the TikToks look. And they're sitting around, hurry up and wait. You know, come in on weekends to clean the squad bay or the barracks. And they're bitter.
So I've been spending some time thinking about this for a little while. I want to understand, what would the motivations be for Gen Z joining the military outside of, you know, being an influencer or being viral on TikTok?
That's a real question. I don't know. When I heard this, I saw the young man doing the skit, making fun of why he wouldn't join. The Israel comment, the abortion, you know, the bottom surgeries. He's this guy. Looks like he's in, I'm guessing, the Army. I couldn't find an answer to that question. Family tradition, maybe. Maybe they want to go in and test their mettle, and they're going to go in and try to go SF or something, or recon or something along those lines. I don't know.
Do they find free college appealing? Do they find free room and board appealing? Do they find free medical care appealing? Like, what are the reasons why Gen Z is interested in joining the military? I genuinely want to know.
I don't think they find any of that appealing. They go into debt they're never going to pay off. They're forced to get health insurance, often with a subsidy, right? They don't have a good job. Through Obamacare. The pride element of this has been destroyed by the brass.
Yeah, and then we all know what pride means now in America, right? Come on, man. Insane.
And you know what?
The patriotic
you know
element.
You know what? One version of free room and board I got one time was transferring duty stations. They had a bunch of beds in an old hangar bay and a bunch of cubicle walls. So it looked like a little maze. And that's where we had to sleep, in this freaking hangar bay that was built back probably in World War II. And half of the rest of it was used for all kinds of refuse and crap like that.
Damn.
I'm telling you, man, people, the military, the equipment comes first, the people come last.
Say again?
The equipment comes first, at least for the Navy. It's always equipment first, and then we'll worry about the people later. I mean, hell, have the submariners tell you about hot bunking.
What's that?
So there's a limited number of beds on a submarine. So if you're not on watch, or excuse me, if you're on watch, somebody else is in your rack. You're just basically sharing a rack with somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Richard Green, what's up, dude? My mom's commanding officer was a nurse in Vietnam, and their MASH got overrun during the Tet Offensive, and she said that they all like jumped in the beds and were playing dead, and they were going down and shooting all the people in the beds, and they're like 2 beds down from her when the Marines finally came and chased them off, fought the guys off. And then my mom, when she was doing her medic training, it was in the 70s, and this one guy, I guess he put the wrong coordinates, and they dropped a bunch of napalm on their own guys. So a couple guys had survived, and they were basically like living in this hospital in Denver, just like there's nothing that they can do. They're just slowly dying. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing really that they could do. They were literally just cooked. So they're just like to make them as comfortable as possible until they passed away. So,
damn.
Tim Hicks, what's up, dude?
So what's left? Just a shitty job you have very little control over in their mind, in Gen Z's mind. You see where I'm going with this?
In Gen Z, and you're thinking about joining the military, let me know in the comments what your reasoning for it is, because I'm genuinely curious. I would love to know.
Now, I looked in this guy's comments. I'll link to these videos below. And most of the comments didn't have a lot of views. It's short. It's on YouTube. Were people going in. They weren't people not going in with why they wouldn't go in. You guys are Gen Z, comment why you're going in, why you're not going in. But I don't know what the real draw is now, because after 9/11, people are patriotic. You got people fired up. And before, like in my time frame, you didn't have all this information. You didn't really know, and I had a family history of it, so you kind of went in for different reasons. Now you look at this, would you have your kid go in? Your little brother, would you say, hey, you should go in? Here's my take. And if you go in with a purpose, you're not going to be doing something boring, sitting back in garrison, it'd be a good adventure for you. Like getting blown up overseas.
That's what I say, guys. Go do IT, try and be a pilot or a doctor or something, But these knuckleheads that are just like okay with just being a knucklehead. It's like, and they're just joining the military to just go for the next 6 years. It's a scary, scary thing. So
it's probably slim at this point. You're more likely to die in a DUI car crash. So if you go in wanting to get something out of it, right? You go into Space Force and you're some sort of satellite guy. But it's hard. There's so many other options now. When you've degraded it, you've pulled it down, you have had MS2 moms, had all these things, young kids that are trolls, the Reddit crowd, they could go in. They could actually be authorized to go in. They pass this test, don't want to do it anymore. Let me know in the comments.
Guys, anything else about the military before we switch gears here? GL snowboard Colin.
I'm all good.
Guys, we gotta switch gears. You know what time it is? You guys know what time it is now, right?
Oh shit.
Let me just change up the ambiance here. You know what I'm saying? And guys, once again, all you service members, thanks so much for your service, man. Guys, we we know that this current group like of young kids don't show any appreciation, but I think that's one thing that every single like red pill guy or anyone in our space has a healthy respect for the military, right? Well, military men, servicemen, right? Not friggin' everyone else. But guys, here we go. Here we go.
Today on Uncovered.
You're gonna take.
Because I can't breathe.
You're talking just fine. Hey, Diana, Deputy O'Brien again. I just saw you yesterday on Embassy. How are you? Not bad. I'm down here on Northcutt now. 26 Northcutt. There's a woman that lives here by the name of Jasmine Freeman. Jasmine, at one point, recently allowed a female with special needs live with her, and then the person ended up moving out. But Jasmine has all her property, her cell phone, some of her belongings, her clothes, things like that. And her family, the woman with special needs, his family is here to get her belongings. Jasmine's refusing to come to the door. Jasmine, we don't know if she is home or not. But Jasmine also has a warrant.
Of course she does. Of course she does.
And then take Jasmine to jail for her warrant.
Guys, we will need the race card. Let me just get
Yeah.
Let me just get this out real fast. We're gonna need that.
All right. Let me place you on a brief hold, see if I can get a hold of her.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm on the phone with the office. Jasmine's got a warrant. That's why she's not coming to the door.
Okay.
The office is going to try to call her from the office phone.
Okay.
To see if she'll come to the door.
Okay.
While waiting for the property manager to arrive with the key, the officer spots Jasmine walking across the property.
All right, so I got the leasing office. The office manager, property manager, is going to come down with the key, and we're just going to go in. If we find Jasmine inside, we're going to arrest Jasmine. She's going to go to jail. And then the best thing about all this
is it funny? GL, Colin, Snowboard, how all these B-dubs always act like it's these cisgendered hetero white men that are the problem, but B-dubs are always B-dubs' worst enemy, right? Yeah. Look at that. Has this girl's property and won't give it back, right? Isn't that like a B-dub thing to do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
A pot smoking slut.
That we will have a key so she can get her belongings.
Thank you so much.
So, there's it kind of Jasmine. Will you let us inside so she can get her belongings? Huh? Will you let her inside so she can get her phone and stuff?
I don't know her.
You don't know her?
I don't know her.
The lie detector.
Oh, God.
No.
Where are you going?
I just got up. I was up at my friend's house.
Well, you got a warrant. You're not allowed to go anywhere. You got a warrant.
I don't have a warrant.
You got a warrant through Mayor's Court.
I've been talking to him. I'm going there
I
tomorrow.
don't know what I don't know what you got a warrant.
Listen, I don't have a job, and I just called them yesterday. I'm going to there tomorrow.
She has a job.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Handle that.
Well, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to go with me to jail.
I have kids.
Of course she does. Look at that.
Where are the kids? I've been knocking at your door.
I wasn't at home. I don't have any food, so I've been staying with my friend. I've been trying to get my life together. I don't have a job. I just talked to him yesterday.
Okay, so where's her stuff at?
I don't know her.
Is somebody else staying with you?
I don't know her.
No, I'm saying is somebody else staying with you.
No.
Your house.
No. She never seen me.
Do you?
I haven't even been home because I don't have any.
No one asked you that.
Sierra stays right there.
Where?
Sierra stays right there.
Which one?
The end one.
The 30.
Yes, and I'm handling that. Tomorrow is Wednesday, the open court. When you,
I'm not saying I know.
No, I'm talking to him because I don't have any job, and it's been a lot. But yes, they said I can come in tomorrow to fix the warrant, and I can pay them.
Ali says all Jasmines eventually sell kitty on the street.
$5. So that's all I have to give them. That's why it's like that. But I've been telling them that I haven't had any money, and
So I'm not trying to be a problem, all right, and then ruin your day. But the only place you're going to go from here is jail.
Why?
Because you have a warrant.
But you're not listening.
And
to
that's how the court works. So the court has a warrant out for your arrest. The Moraine Mayor's judge has a warrant out for your arrest. No, I hear you. I hear you. I'm listening. I comprehend it. But
it's time.
Hey.
Look at that! Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Wrapped like a rock.
Merry Christmas, everybody. What
Notice
an
she
idiot.
has like Santa's pants on, like the
right?
pajamas.
You know that was a beautiful drop.
It happened like very fast too.
Harrison, you, what?
You're kidding? Hey, did she lose her shoes?
Yeah.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Oh, guys, the best things in life truly are free, man. Hey, guys, make
we
sure
might need a
you know-
slow-mo.
Oh, my second channel, dude, because we do this all the time over there, man. Let's go.
Okay.
Harrison 231.
Stay
on your stomach.
Please.
You got her again.
Please.
I got
You got her again. I'll play my drum for him. Bum bum bum.
Get out here. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, yes, sir.
Don't move from right there.
Okay.
You hear what I'm saying?
You on the channel? I don't even
Don't
know
move.
that, sir.
Don't move from right
Isn't
there.
it crazy? They have to ride the lightning to actually be somewhat respectable, right?
Please let me talk to you. I'm so sorry for coming at you wrong. I'm so sorry for being disrespectful. Please just let me talk to you. I'm so sorry for being a dumbass bitch.
You can tell them
That was so dumb.
because
You really thought you were going to outrun?
Guys, what's with all these base cops we have? Guys, we've been on like a 2 or 3 week marathon here of base cops, man. Let's go.
No, but I was
Don't
supposed to
move.
see my kids.
Don't move
tomorrow.
from there.
I was going to court.
Don't move from right there. Don't move from right
I'm
there.
not going to move, sir.
That was so dumb.
No, it's not dumb. You
It was
don't
dumb.
understand what I'm going through. I don't.
That was
I
dumb.
don't have any food. I haven't seen my kids.
That was dumb. Don't move. You see a paramedic?
Yes.
Before.
Oh, my, I'm in pain. You just tased me. My back
Harrison
already be
231.
hurting.
Just start being medic, please.
Babe. I left it. I tried to run. I got a word.
And now here come all these knuckleheads. What'd you do? That's a female. That's a female. That's a female. Right? Come on, man. What are you talking about, right?
He died. That's how you guys did. That's how he died. Juneteenth.
The mayor. For the
I'm gonna pull these out,
He
okay?
tased me for no reason.
No, you ran.
What do you mean? I was just walking past. I just came from sis house because you know I don't have any food.
Hey man, back up, dude.
Alright, damn.
She had a warrant, she ran. That's why she
I
got
tried to
taken.
explain him that tomorrow I'm going to the court to fix it. I don't have any money to give them. Like,
You literally ran from me from right over there.
I know. I'm sorry. I just listen. What did he run your name for? What happened? I guess they was. I don't know. I was just trying to walk past the jazz house so I could.
Who's this simp?
Yeah.
What happened, man? What's going on, man? What's up?
Here I come to save the day.
Clown world.
Hey.
Because he said she was going to take
Come
me
over to your side. Come over to your side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, stand up. Stand up. Can you stand up?
I can't. You saved me.
Stand up.
Shut up.
She's acting more because that guy's standing there
Can you
now.
stand up? Stand up. Stand up. She ran. Hey, dude, just let her down there. I know, just let her down.
Let my baby. Oh, guys, look, we found Nug Nug, right?
Yep.
You didn't have to save me for
You
no
ran.
reason.
That's what happens.
I got a petty warrant, but so I have to give
Well, now
him
you
some
just caught
money.
more charges. So
Oh my God. Please.
I literally told you from over there you had a warrant and you ran.
I know, but I was trying
Now
to
you caught more
explain to
charges.
you that I
Good.
Man, I'm about to leave right here. You already do this later.
You don't understand that.
Yes, I'm at Northway.
251 a month.
That's true. I got left in there.
Shut up.
The bond is like $60, and that's just got more charges on
Yo, I said your bond is $60. Now you got more charges. You moron. What are you doing?
You stupid woman.
Look at that. Look at her face.
The bond is like $60, and that's just got more charges on
You're a little past that, dear.
Only reason why I ran is because I'm giving them some money tomorrow.
Okay, well, consider this a lesson learned.
Embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie.
Nug Nug should be having this on World Star right now instead of like acting like a simp.
It's so funny because like people used to wear sneakers and Jordans. So you got to at least try and run, but you're wearing Crocs. You're gonna try and run from the cops.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How are people so stupid?
Why did you run? All you did was walk past. Just walk past. He already told me I was going to jail. Why would he just tell you going to jail if you walking past? Because he said I had a warrant, and I was walking past. If you was walking, they harassing me, talking about that girl stuff in my house. I don't even know her. I haven't even been home.
I told you when you first came out you had a warrant, and then you ran. So that's
we
what.
had a conversation. I said, what girl though? Some girl in the car, babe. I don't know. What? When I walked past, I was like, "Are you Jasmine?" I'm like, "No." What did y'all talk about? But I guess he already put up my picture, so I'm like, I'm just walking past. I just left my sister. How's my bag? And then he was like, "Well, you're Jasmine. You're not going anywhere because you have a warrant." And I'm like,
you need to calm down because you're doing all of this and you got.
I just keep. Mama, he just tased me. Oh my God, my life ain't shit, bro.
Well, we could have told you that, right, guys?
It can never be nothing good. It can never be nothing good, bro.
Why are you embarrassing like that, though? Why are you doing all of this?
What with my bag, babe? He just takes me. It hurt.
So-
It hurt.
Yes, Mom, yes.
I just know that you said that you was
Just
gonna
trying
let
to get
me
in on
kiss
some
today.
Morgan action on this one.
Hey guys, hold on.
Babe, I talked.
Let's take a break here, guys. Look at this. Look at this. These chicks ran out on the check, but they forgot their car keys. Now, guys, what do you think these knuckleheads look like?
The usual suspects.
Yep. Guys, put in the chat what you think these knuckleheads look like. There's 2 letters, guys. All right. Here we go. You guys ready for this? Here we go.
Wait. What's the prediction of it? Or just play it?
Snowboard, what is going on with you today, man?
You've been had.
I didn't want to assume it was going to be.
Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Guys, we all know it's a B-dub. Come on, dude. You're
what I
talking
thought.
about your dine and dash, shoplifting. Guys, who else would it be than a B-dub? You know what I mean? Here we go.
Look.
Look.
They go to the bathroom.
They went to the bathroom.
Y'all went to the bathroom? Gotta go sit it.
Yeah. She said, I got your car keys, but you got to pay your bill. Look at that.
Shot tail. Get a short. Shot tail. Yeah, y'all shouldn't have walked out. Pay your bill. Yeah, y'all left them keys. Y'all shouldn't have walked out. The world's dumbest criminals. Y'all making us look bad. Hey, dumb.
Look at that, guys. Of course, right? The guys here. Let's do this. Hold on. Guys, we're gonna do after hours in the Discord, guys. So join the Discord, guys. right? And then once this live is over, go to the after hours thread, guys, and we'll be doing after hours. So we'll jump in there for a little bit.
Told you I ain't still shit. As a ass, big ass, white cracker ass bitch with no camera. And I ain't got no words. No, I'm not trying to grab you.
Officers in New Jersey were called to a club after a female patron
Ohio, New Jersey, Florida
began acting disorderly and refused to pay her bill for food and drinks. Watch as police put her terrible attitude to an end with a much-needed reality check. Parts of the
Her wig came off.
conversation inside the club may be difficult to hear due to the loud music.
Listen, I made my food.
Sorry, guys. I have to skip through this because of the music. Guys, I need you guys to hear me, okay? If you ever walk past a place and you're thinking about going in and you hear music this loud and you see people who look like this, keep on walking. I'm dead ass. I'm dead serious. Guys, and what's crazy is you go to like Atlanta stuff, they have restaurants where they have a DJ and the music is this loud. How are you supposed to even hear yourself? Like, listen to how loud it is in there, you know?
Oh my God. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, guys.
It's Scream Fest.
No, text me. Oh, I shoot. Let me stand still. Don't feel like he's violating for no reason. No, he's not. Yo, pull up here, like, pull my kids right now. Yo, mama,
Isaac, can you act like a grown woman, please?
Well, stand up.
Hello.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at how nasty she looks.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. What the fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks. Get yourself together.
I'm bald-headed, though.
All right, so put it back on.
I'm bald-headed, right? But already, y'all grab me for what? For what?
God, these New York, Brooklyn chicks and these Jersey chicks. I don't know how guys do it, man. Look at that.
There's no camera, and I ain't got no words. No, I'm not trying to grab you.
There it is. There it is.
It's time. My shoe.
Stand up.
My shoe.
Stand up.
Breaking my foot. Stand up. My shoe.
She's already locked up.
I don't know.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Because you want to get the mother.
Sorry, guys. That music.
Actually, don't mind it because that music is garbage.
All right, come can y'all please be calm.
Well, no, she's got to learn to listen.
I didn't do I pay for everything. Why you not doing that? Somebody take a shoe off. Give me your shoe off.
Someone walk.
Touching a police officer.
Listen, you don't touch a motherfucker outside of a bar. That's what it comes down to. Let's go.
Oh my God. No, we're in jail.
No, you're not going to jail.
You're not going to jail.
I can't do. I'm not getting no car.
Yeah, you are. You gotta get in.
Okay, I'm gonna sit right here.
Sit in the car. I got purse. Swing your feet in.
I'm okay.
Suspension
What are you going to
needed.
do?
Say again?
I said HD suspension needed now.
I know, right? They get those Fox shocks?
Yeah. Yes.
What's up, Steve? You get it figured out yet?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. You're totally perfect.
Okay. Hey, if you guys need any help, contact AJ. I live out in the woods, guys, so my connection isn't that good. I got Spectrum. I'll tell you a quick story. I have a friend who's a Green Beret, and he did like 6 combat tours, has a CIB, there's another one too. And once you got a CIB, there's a notion that automatically that you might have PTSD. Okay. And I kept pushing him for years and years. I'll just make up a name. His name's Frank. I said, Frank, come on, buddy. He was all busted up. He is now at 100% scheduler, which means with that wacky math that one of the guys mentioned, he's at 90%. You can get 100% 2 different ways. One is scheduler. The other is what's called TDIU, which is basically what they're saying is you're so busted up that you're unemployable. Can be a dicey situation to be in because that means you can't work. Okay. You can make like $1,400, $5,000 a year, but if there's any way I can help you guys out, contact AJ. Number 1, get yourself a good veteran service officer. Okay. I went through the DAV. Number 2, if you're at like 90%, I suggest you contact Hill and Ponton. Okay. POTON. They are the best veterans lawyers in the country. So, anything I can do to help you guys, just get a hold of. Yes, sir. Exactly, Matthew. Indeployable or individual unemployability. Out of the 2, you want scheduler, but if you're busted up real bad, man, get that $3,800, I think it is, a month, tax free, and then that comes with a lot of other benefits. You can go free on Mac flights, free fishing licenses, free hunting licenses in many states. Like in Texas, you don't pay any property tax. Okay. So really,
are you serious?
Yes, sir.
In Texas, guys,
yes,
man,
sir.
Texas will bone you on property tax, dude. Yikes, man! Straight
Yep.
up, that's quite the deal, right there.
Yep. I got a guy. I know a guy down there who was 85 years old, and he got what do you call that thing that sterilizes instruments? A excoclave or it's a pressurized unit that sterilizes medical instruments. And it blew up right next to him. And I've known him for like 15 years now. And I kept saying, buddy, come on, man. And he always felt the same way I did, that other vets deserve it more. He is now at because I just kept kicking him in the ass and saying, and we all need a kick in the ass, by the way, guys, and we all need a hand up sometimes. Okay. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. All right. Autoclave. Thank you, Steve. He is now at 85%, and he is working his way towards 100%. So it doesn't matter how many years you've been out. And that's something that a lot of vets don't realize. So if I can help, just get a hold of AJ. I live in the woods for a reason, because I kind of try and stay behind the scenes of things. And, but if I can help, just get a hold of AJ and give me a call after 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because my insomnia is still kicking my ass 30 years later. So thank you, all you guys, all you people that served. And I called the Air Force. I got the freaking answer machine. 2 weeks later, I was in the Army at Fort Jackson. I mean, who would have known what would have happened if I'd gone in the Air Force? But
hey guys, I'm putting you on the what's it called, on the hot seat, Steve. Guys, I'm trying to get Steve to to start his own channel, man. Start his own like channel about veterans and all that other stuff in the Red Pill too. So everyone put a 1 in the chat if you want Steve to start his own channel. You know.
Yeah, dude, come on, man, go for it, dude.
Ha! I told you.
hey, latest hour. Get what you're at 80% currently.
Yeah, he said yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that last 20% is really challenging. And the unemployability. So, it's a horrible thing. You can't call a gay person gay, but you can call a vet disabled and unfreaking employable. That's BS, man. So if I can help, just get a hold of AJ and we can talk it through.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, guys. Either my emails in my about, or guys hit me up on Discord. And then I can hook you up with Steve. So yeah, man.
Cool.
Steve's in Discord too, right? You are, Steve? Yeah, you're on Discord.
I am, but I keep having trouble getting into the damn thing.
Yeah. Discord can do that. But yeah, guys, reach out to me in the Discord or or via email, whatever. Actually, guys, we're at the 3-hour mark, so I'm gonna shut this down, guys. I will be in After Hours, so go to Discord and then click on After Hours. Steve, you were in which ranch?
Army.
Okay.
I was a light wheeled vehicle mechanic, and
Okay.
I had additional skill identifier as a recovery specialist.
Cool.
So
man.
yeah. Hey, one important things, guys, and this is very important. Join the membership, man. Come on. Take care, guys.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Bye, guys.